Well, alright, alright. It's cracking, yo. Just catching up on some dinner. Cracking a beer. Actually, we'll sit down and we'll have a bit of a sesh, I think, before I have dinner. I'm actually hanging for a couple of cones. Beer and a smoke. Okay. Sounds good. It's actually a really nice breeze here tonight, eh? It's so good. We're up at the big glass dinner table tonight. You can hear the difference. Gotta fucking be careful of that, eh? That's even a beer bottle. This is a beer bottle on top of it. But you can hear the difference in the bong. Sounds so breakable. I don't know if that. I'm not worried about the table breaking. It's the fucking bong. So you're just cracking it. Well, I just already did crack it, but I was gonna have a Bogues, but I cracked a Heineken. They're pretty much the same. Bogues is a good Aussie beer, but Heineken's pretty good. Nothing wrong with a fucking Heineken. Like, it may not have enough flavor for you if you're a fucking craft beer drinker, but you can't say it's shit. I find those lagers like, well, Heineken's a lager, so is the Bogues. But I find that they don't taste that good when they get a bit warm. Whereas, like, maybe some of the other craft beers and different ales, it's like the temperature is a bit more favorable for them. Whereas, like, once a lager gets like the chills gone off it, like, that's fucking hard. And then some craft beers, like, I think when you drink them when they're real cold, you miss out on heaps of flavor, but you're not missing out on flavor when you're drinking a lager ice cold. Like, it's just how they're meant to be. Just ice cold, refreshing, crisp beers. I like a real dry beer. I need to clean a whole bunch of my nozzles, or not my caps. Got a bottle of acetone, so I might use that to fucking clean them. But I don't know. It's getting a bit late in the night to start playing around with fucking acetone. Fuck. I don't like the smell of those sort of chemicals, like thinners and fucking acetones and methos and keros. It's like once I get a waft of them, it's like it sticks with me all day. It's actually a pretty nice beer, Heineken. I haven't had one for a little while. In case you're wondering, yeah, you tune into another episode of Smoking Cones with Red Bull, episode 4296, I think. And we're just chilling. Really should have went and fucking chilled up the other end of the house where the fucking not laptop, but the PC is. And fucking at least played some music. which I may end up doing after I've eaten something. Ugh. I'm actually getting used to eating at dinner at the dinner table. It's the one thing I've never actually owned a good one of. In all the places I've had, I've just had like, as long as I could put something down at the table, like like my parents have always had like nice big dinner table because we're a pretty big family. But at like my place, I've only ever had like just like a little coffee table sort of thing, like something that you can just put a drink down on, and like one chair, like two chairs either side, like one chair. Or I've had like a bench, and you could sit up at the bench. I had like kind of like stools, and like I had like there was a row of like four stools, and you could sit up at it was like a nice big bench, and you could sit at the bench and kind of eat. But I still only ever had like the one little shitty coffee table, like a little outdoor table, just a little like two people could kind of sit there and eat, or one person have like a couple of plates. Oh yeah, all the nice big bench. And then there was a time there where like we had a coffee table, not a coffee table, like a dining table, but I don't think we actually sat down and had a meal at it for like shit. We had it for probably 2 years and then moved and sold it. And I don't think we ever really had meals at it. Like we just used to, which is what I thought I'd always ever use a table for, is just to put like storage. Like when I come in and put the fucking shopping on it, and then pack the shopping away, and then don't use the like yeah. Although like I think if enjoyed smoking weed at the table more, like I do now, but when I was younger, like I was more in the lounge room, comfy lounges and fucking lounge chairs and stuff. Like I never gave a fuck about like a dining table. It's not the sort of thing that like a bunch of dudes all fucking you know like you want to just sit around the lounge room and have a few beers and pass the bong around. It seems always seemed a little bit like too family. I've got to go for a shit. We might just put this on pause just in case someone comes to the front door. But fuck, I am busting for a shit. Well, all right. Come one, come all. We're just chilling.
Hello.
Hello. Hold on, just give me 2 seconds.
No worries, mate.
You hear that?
Yeah, I can.
Nice.
Where you sound like you're sat in the chair nicely.
Yeah, I can. Okay, yeah, we should be able to hear that.
Yeah, cool. I just woke up fresh from a dream where I can't even remember what was happening anymore. It's like a second ago. Crazy.
Oh, I hate that.
I know, we're like, oh, it was just this thing, and oh, it's gone.
Or you remember it about a week later, and it seems like you had it. Like it's like, did I have that years ago or fucking?
Yeah. Have you done that when you're in a dream and you remember the dream in the dream? You're like, how long ago? How long has this been going on for?
Yeah, they're good ones.
Yeah, like, but am I remembering it, or am I dreaming that I'm remembering it? It's fucking right weird.
Well, yeah,
So how you doing?
pretty good for a Sunday arvo.
Yeah, me
Or
too.
Sunday night, really.
Nice relaxing Sunday. I'm going
Yeah, I'm just
trampolining.
chilling.
Going trampolining today.
Oh,
Ooh.
serious? I literally like only kicked this one because I'd seen what's his face fucking Ricky had just finished one, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so tired, I'm going to bed." And I was like, "Oh, okay, rightio,
Oh, brilliant.
time to start one."
Yes, yes. He'll be asleep with his earphones on, head down. Head is down. Drool is drooling on the fucking keyboard. Oh no, that He-Man doll cast aside.
Is he like fucking cursing the time zones?
Was he?
Oh no, he fucking will be.
Oh yeah, he will be. Yeah, he will have been in the past as well because they're always keeping tabs. What was his stream like? The one that he did after I did screenshot. I did screenshot one set of things because I messaged you, didn't I? I put a comment on your thing.
Yeah, I don't know. was catching up on. Well, I was watching your one,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. It was pretty low key. I think not much.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see what stage is at really more than anything else. Me
Yeah,
and Vic have created a new working strategy for it.
yeah. Poor Vic. I went in on him on your chat before. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. No, he was fine. I was just like, next time then. Because after we'd finished, he had some real insight about everything. And he was like, and I was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was on about. This is what we were on about when you asked me what to do on the stream. This is what I was on about. He was like, oh, right. I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, well, next time I'll just do my rabbiting. And then when something comes up that you might want to talk about, you just come up. Something like that.
I'm sure he'll be fine. I think Ben Fasting wants to stream with him for some reason.
Mm.
So I don't know. That they may have fun.
I think they do a really good stream together.
Yeah. Well, they did it at one that time.
Yeah, and it went on for ages. I really do think they do well together. Chatting. I don't know what Ben Spastic would have in mind for the innocent Vic there. Were you just like, oh God, Ben Spastic, what have you got in mind for him? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think he's pretty innocent himself.
You think?
Oh, he could have the same sort of chat as Vega.
Oh yeah, he can be. It's not. Yeah, he's not malevolent or malicious or manipulative. If that's what you mean, yeah, totally. But I wouldn't say Vic. Yeah, he has a bit of innocence to him, but about certain aspects. But he's not totally innocent either, and neither's. I mean, it's like a joke in it. But I don't know about Ben Spastic. I don't think he's innocent at all.
Yeah,
No,
he plays all sorts of crazy games.
Mm. I would be surprised if he's.
They're actually pretty tricky to navigate sometimes.
Yeah. I like his craft. That's what I was saying in the chat that time. I was like, he's got worthy craft. He has got worthy craft. It's whether who has got involved with it or not is what I want to know. I don't think it has.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he does have that.
Just be his own.
Pardon? He's in the
He
goon.
could just be on his own, just like how I was. Just fuck you, just take shots at everyone.
Yeah, I think he is. I genuinely think he is. But he's made me think, is he? And that's
yeah.
But
the one I was literally just about when I saw your stream, I was like about to write it all out with that Rusty dude.
That's
But
Chudders.
I don't know if he's kind of were picking up on it. It was like I thought I added that name, but I was sort of looking from across the lounge. So
yeah, I remember you saying, yeah, you thought.
Like,
so
you know, when you get a guest and it just sort of says, like, you go guest and then you'll see them add them to the stage and then it's like you see their name. And that's like the YouTube one. Well, that's the only one I saw. But I thought I'd added Rusty. I was like getting ready for like, oh, well, who the fuck is this going to be? Like, this could be fucking someone. I was half expecting like Signal or someone. And then it was just Dean. But I may have not seen it properly. And it was like him just with a stooge alt.
Yeah, it could well have been. And Justine didn't say anything because he just watched to see what happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's just like, whatever, innit? I'm not going to fucking set him straight on this.
Yeah, but then when you said you like, and I hadn't seen any cunty stuff. And that's why I'm like, it could be.
Oh,
because,
I'd seen
like,
bits.
There's nothing. And then I started to see bits. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it is. Like,
proper sideways sort of cyan sort of shit. I'd already put him down as one of them.
He was known as that alt. Like, I think if he had an alt anonymous, he might do that stuff, but not. You know what I mean? Like not coming onto a stream with it, and
Yeah,
then
no, and also his level of like the cuntishness and the snidiness, it's like it's completely different with Dean. Unless he's
yeah,
playing a part, which could be, but even when someone's playing a part, you can kind of tell, can't you, who it is a bit
yeah,
sometimes.
that's what I meant. And then when I started to see it as well, I'm like, no, I don't think that is who I was thinking it was. Like,
Yeah,
I
it
think I
should
just
is.
read it wrong. Like when I clicked add them to the stage, like
It's fucking chudders. I knew he was up to something. I'm telling you, it's chudders. Because he went over and he's chatting with them lot. He brings me up. But he's allowed because he has actually literally just been out talking to me, so it's fair enough, isn't it? But like, he brings me up. Oh, you should have seen the state of that chat. Fucking hell. Because after I went off, I just went and had a quick check, and I don't even fucking know anymore. Let's see. Oh, can I go? I can't look at it while I'm on the phone to you, can I? But oh man, just fucking break your policy and come and join the privet now. At this point, I just want to show you the photos, and the print screens, and all the shit. I'm just like, for fuck's sake, is there no non-Twitter, no Discord privet where we can just fucking put photos and shit? I don't know. It's called the newspaper, I suppose.
yeah, yeah,
An old
or
message board somewhere.
or a video. I don't know.
Oh, a video. Yeah, I could do it on a video. Yeah, I could. I could do it on a video. But yeah, it was just Rusty Trombone going over doing his. It's nothing that exciting. Do you know what I mean? But I could do little videos. Actually, that'd work, wouldn't it? With screenshots and a bit of like a slideshow of all the screenshots that I've got. I just put them on random, just all the random screenshots I've ever took
Yeah,
of the chat, and then then I could don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, I might do that actually. I might do like, what's the amount? What's the time? What do you think the ideal time length for a video like that would be? About a minute, 2 minutes?
yeah, probably not long.
You won't be able to put too much in.
Yeah, otherwise you need like heaps if you're gonna do like a 10-minute fucking screenshot video.
Mate, it'll be like a 10-hour screenshot video. No fucking joke.
That's nuts.
It is. I just keep taking them. You know what I mean? And then just like leave them to file that in me for bullshit and carry on. Like, don't even worry about it. So that'd be a really good way of doing it. I'll just be like random dump one, and it's gonna be like two. Maybe I'll do like 2 minute long ones, random 2 minute dumps, and then I can go through them and use them, and I can delete all those things off my system. Then I won't have to worry about them ever again. That's such a good idea.
Just reset.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. I might just do that. And it also would be quite cool to, little bits of music in each one. And yes, I will do that. But anyway,
Yeah, so fucking Carl makes his appearances so big.
yeah, Carl turned up.
You never know when you're gonna get a Carl appearance these days, do you?
He let me talk at him for a bit, bless him. I felt so for him. I was like, you've got Vic. And Carl just caught in the blast of me just being like, and another fucking thing. Meh, 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 meh. You know what I mean? Like, I felt
I'm
so
sure
for
they
the pair
don't
of them.
mind.
Yeah, I owe them both one. That's all I can say.
If anything, I'd say Carl's probably still a little bit fucking thinking he's gonna get clipped. You know, as soon as he says something.
Well, he will.
Well, yeah, but yeah, well, yeah, I suppose
Is he?
really.
That's why. That's why
There
he
you go.
sounds like it. Because they're
When you
all
put
still
it
at
that way,
it.
I
He just don't give a
suppose.
shit. That's the difference. Is Carl just don't give a shit anymore. I think that's what it is. Which is I've got time for that. I'm like, fair dues.
Yeah,
You've been through the burners. We've all been through it. That's
yeah,
fine.
but see, I like he was starting to talk about it a bit today, but I don't know whether I think something changed the conversation or. But regardless, like he had been around for a while,
Mm, mm,
like, and Carl has been in a lot of these shit streams, like. You know what I mean? Like he was kind of there in all of those as
mm-hmm,
well. You could
mm,
almost say, like, whether he typed or like, or on the panel, or
mm.
he
Oh God,
didn't
yeah,
really.
Carl was massively part of it. Massive.
like he didn't really miss many of those streams. So to keep your timelines in check, like he like would, yeah, like he's gonna have some things fucked up as
He's
well.
going to
But
remember some stuff. Yeah, he is.
yeah, he will be able to put bits in. Like no, that was like a year before this, or fucking
And when it comes down to the Ricardo shit, and people just going along with going, oh, is that what happened? Is that not what happened? I think even Vic said one last night. And I'm like, what do you mean? How you were there? And he was like, oh yeah, Ricardo was there from all this time. I know, but then he said he was there. It was like, well, yeah, he has been there, but that's what we said all the way along. He's been like in the distance. No one wanted to touch him, and he didn't want to touch anybody else. He was scared that this would happen in a way that wasn't effective for him. And so Q came and made it effective for him, and he went with it. That's absolutely fine. But when he hasn't got something like a spacesuit to put on, he's fucked.
yeah.
He won't touch anything, and that's why this is perfect for him. So yeah, like there was a reason why he was always around. But yeah, I think maybe Carl would have stuff to add to the situation. I think he would. I think he'll be able um to be able to say about stuff like, yeah, when they're trying to slide shit past that always happened that never happened. It's like, yeah, he might have a memory of some shit. It's
Well,
gonna be
he kind of had it,
dry.
like to an extent, like he kind of nearly had it happen to himself.
Yeah,
Just like an earlier version of it.
yeah.
Wasn't
Well,
quite refined.
he was part of it. I think they copied some of his ideas. You know what I mean? They got the idea from him a little bit, maybe. But
He's the
yeah,
statistician all along.
he was
Captain ruling the seas.
Captain Carl. No, I swear to God, like fucking, they've been copying the Carl play. They've copied Carl for ages. Ricardo fucking copied Carl. No joke. And I mean, Vic yesterday was apologising to Carl. It was like being with Rabbit Dude. He was apologising to Carl, and he was saying that Carl was right about certain aspects of that stuff. And now I won't say that Carl was entirely right about everything. But yes, I mean, from Vic's perspective and what Vic was saying, yeah, I mean, there is aspects. I've said it to what's it, Albert before, indeed, about how things change and your mind changes and you realise how wrong you were and shit. I think that's probably what happened with Vic and Carl a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Carl,
Yeah.
you can't just
And to be
deny it.
fair, like what Carl then said, but the end part of it where it's then what you do after that. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I agree with him massively. I think Carl has a lot to bring to this table. I didn't even hear really what Coab was saying because I was waiting for him to finish his bullshit foreplay and then we'd get into the meat and potatoes. But he fucked off after that.
he's a fucking bitch. Like,
Was
just
he
sucks.
really
Like,
being a
it
bit?
sucks that I'm banned there. Like, I don't think I'd be that hard. Like, but it's all personal shit. Like,
He's weird,
you know
weird.
what I mean? Like, he's just fucking having a hissy fit, and he's just banned like a bunch of people that he doesn't like hearing. And like, it's like Lewis is in that same little boat. Like, Rabbit's come out of it, but yeah, they still want their safe space, but they still want to be able to fucking say whatever they want as harshly as they want to someone else. But they still
Buttocks,
want their own safe space.
that's news to me that, the Buttock safe space, like, because he never was about that ever, especially when we first met him. He really wasn't about that. He was
But he
like,
what like
just
it has been like it's like
keep getting
he's
there. Like,
never really copped it that much in the chat before he's flicked you. Like
he'll run away or he'll flip to an. That's how he used to do it in the olden days, I think. He used to run away and be avoidant, and he always used to flip over to the other side. And
yeah,
that's how he used to get away with it. But he could only do that for so long until he had to pick a side. And then once he picked his side, I suppose he started being a bit more like this. Maybe.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him, but I heard he was acting all pissed off and he was going off at Carl and he was doing his fake outrage thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
But I don't know what
But then
Kiwi's
that's what I'm
plan
saying.
was
Like,
with that.
next time he kicks a stream, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't go and say shit. I haven't been able to say shit
You
there
must
for
have
eight.
really pissed him off. You must have, because he'll let those people back on. He really will. I don't have Buttocks down as a safe space person. I don't.
I do it pretty good to some people, huh?
Yeah, I think some people it's just you they want a safe space from, not everybody.
Yeah, that's it. It's
And I
like,
suppose that works for me as well sometimes, you know.
yeah, that's true. It's not that they want to stay.
Yeah.
It's like we just don't want fucking that cunny.
Do they
He's
call it
fucking
a safe space? I don't think you can class that as a safe space. It's more just like
nah.
a Red Bull safe space.
Yeah. My bad, boys. I labeling it safe spaces.
You
We
can't
just want
call what Buttocks is doing, compare it to what fucking Ricardo's doing. Do you know what I mean? He's just fucking telling to fuck off.
Yeah, but I don't know. I see him sometimes. Like, is he building?
I don't know. Yeah, I know. I would
You
have
know,
a lot
like
of
is that because sometimes once they've already built, it's like a little bit too hard and too late.
I don't know with him. He's a bit more dynamic. He is. He's more dynamic than his age will let you think. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, with Buttocks, it's like there's a depth to him, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just seeing it differently and I'm just writing it differently. But to me, maybe it stands out like he's doing something more. Because he is doing something, but he's just doing his own shit. But like something more nefarious than that, even just because he's got a depth to him, and we're so used to looking at these fucking idiots like Ricardo and Evil. We've like literally they are so scared of any depth to their character. I'm not going to say they haven't got any depth to their character because we all do. It's just that sometimes it's so hidden and so shit that they don't want to touch a fucking barge pole, and that's where they're at.
Oh, it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, I think with Ricardo it actually hurts him. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah. That message he put on my chat last night.
Was that actually a real Ricardo?
That was real Ricardo. Yeah, that was confirmed real Ricardo. I didn't check the other ones, but that you know what I mean. There's not many people who understand the art and the beauty that was, and we were just like hit that. I'm just like, that's it. Achievement unlocked. Look at that! Look at that message. That's like a trophy and a half. I'll frame that and put that on my fucking wall. No one will get it though. I know there's only
the one that I liked, and I think you're gonna have to go back and have another listen back to it. But the coin exchange, like, it's sort of just like I heard you just like your breath get taken, and I'm just like, oh yeah, fucking wait till you hear this bit. But it like,
oh yeah, we'll give it
to
more.
me, like that's like he's pulled the whole like conduit card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, like, is this dude just doing what, like,
What he's just done?
like, yeah, but he's like, just like after he does, like, well, that's now, like, I just take that on, like,
Yeah, exactly. That's what he does.
that was cool if it would happen to you, like, I'll just pretend that happened to me, like,
Yep, exactly.
let
And that's
alone
why
he
he's
was like just milking the conduit for all the cans,
more than I've
but
ever
is
seen
now
anybody
saying that
do
like
it.
he's cutting Evil off from his because Evil uses him to get
No,
like
He was saying
info and
I
stuff.
was conduiting him. I was conduiting Ricardo.
No. Have another listen to it. That's what he's got the shits with Evil, and that's why he's like, nah, fuck, I'm cutting him off because he's just using me as a conduit to fucking
Oh, I didn't hear that bit. I heard the
to
bit
keep
where
like he doesn't want to keep feeding Evil cans of you and Nuben, and that's what he's upset about at Evil.
what bullshit, because even
Yeah,
under
like
that,
that's bullshit, like a
yeah,
bullshit
because I
excuse,
might
but
pull some shit on Evil, and I will, I still will. But like one of the things was definitely not that. You know what I mean? And it's just like he has never been the one. He's gone and got cans to keep his little thing
yeah,
going with
I think
Ricardo.
some of them you gotta like. It's like you pause it in between, and then like he hasn't quite said the whole like
I
little
know.
paragraph or something,
I
and then
know. I pause it too much. I told
when you
Vic
pick
before we
it up
started.
later, it doesn't roll onto what he was just saying. It sounds like it's a separate thing. But no,
Mm,
if you actually listen to that, like he's got the shits at Evil, like saying he's like, you know, in a pretend way that he's using Ricky as a conduit because as soon as he links up with
into
them, it's
that.
like, you know, they can kind of milk it for you and milk it for Nuben. And it's like,
That's
fuck
really
off. Like,
interesting.
he's all into that. Like, I didn't see it that way. I've seen it the other way around, you know, like, that's what they've done is like kept the people around to keep the info coming through to feed
Yes,
the streams.
so that the info can still be in place
Yeah, but
because
now
they
that's what
can't
he's got the
keep.
shit because he thinks Evil does that to him.
Well, they can't keep their
Like when
story
he
away
sobers up,
from these
that's
new
what.
ears.
Yeah, it's like when he looks at it all, that's how he's feeling. That
Well,
like it's
that's my
Evil milking
question.
him for you guys
That's my
because he knows that
question,
like if Ricky's not there, then like Evil can't get you guys around, and there's no conduit.
which is absolute
It's like it's
bullshit.
all a little weird like symbiosis.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense, does it? Because he met all us lot through evil. So how is he the conduit? Do you know what I mean? How can he be? So anyway, there's that, right? But my question is does he really believe this? And this is the question that I had from a long time ago. Does he really believe this, like you say? And I can believe that he could convince himself to believe this. Is it all subconscious? You know, he's took all this stuff on. He's been sat there in his little brain processing it on the bit of time that he's not on a fucking computer game about 2 hours a day. And he's trying slowly, his little fucking noggin is trying really hard and it's finally ground itself into like coming into like last season's fucking ideas from us. And he's like digging
Yeah,
around his
well, I
head
think
trying
he's now sitting back thinking I got used by Evil, and now he's got the shit.
or yeah, he's got used by evil, and it's nicer and easier for him to use the terminology that I've used.
Yeah, well, it's all set and like it's
It's
fresh.
easier for him, isn't it? And
Yeah, it's all
it doesn't
in
quite
play.
hit. Yeah, and it doesn't quite hit the actual point because, as we know with Ricardo, when has he ever told the fucking truth? Why would he tell the truth about this or anything else? Why would he? Why would he just start telling the truth now? He wouldn't, would he? So it's a cover story for him, and it's for himself. It's not for anyone else. Like I've said before, it's like who's he doing it for? Fucking himself to teach to fucking
Yeah,
delude himself, innit? That's it. So he's
like
self
what we'll
deluded.
be telling is if he keeps dropping bombs on them, you know, or if it's just like a once off, do a couple of streams, get everyone hyped up, and it's fucking like really they never actually had a fight to begin with. Like
Well,
it'll
that's
be
what.
interesting if he keeps dropping the bombs, like that stirs the fights up.
No, it don't matter. It
So
don't matter.
no, it don't. Like
I don't think
sometimes
so.
these
Not with
things,
evil.
oh, I've seen it. Like
He,
sometimes these
the,
thin skin cunts, when they're playing games, if you say the right things, they're not sure whether they're playing the game still. And
yeah,
then like it sits in there like, hang on, like was that borderline nasty
yeah,
or is
yeah,
that
yeah,
just a game or like is that the boundary?
yeah,
Next minute they're fucking got the shits.
yeah. But then it still doesn't matter because they don't respect themselves enough. They don't respect themselves. They don't respect their own opinion. So right. So for one example of this is what the
But see, that's
reason.
where I'm saying like I think sometimes you can cause the fracture is like say if right now we decided Ricky was like you know what I mean? Like that then puts them in two minds. Just
Mm,
saying like when you when I play you play games like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think that fracture. You got to work out how much that fracture works. So because in those guys, because there's no sincerity in their friendship at all, ever. There never has been. So the
right.
only threat that's going on there is like an ego threat. Do you know what I mean? And like maybe a threat to the channel. There's no real
Yeah.
like, oh, does he like me? Does he not like me? Or any of that. There's none of that because they just don't have that capacity. They don't
Yeah.
have the
See,
capability.
and to be fair, you know what video I think really stirred a lot of this up
Go on.
was the one where I think it was fucking Dean clipped it, where it's just like a little highlights package of all the nasty shit they've said to each other.
Mm.
And it's like that's when they're like, oh, hang on, fuck yeah, like that was only 6 months ago.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
it's things like that that then it sows it. But then I think they do the same thing where they play that song of Dean from years ago, bad mouthing you and shit, and it's like, whatever, you know, fucking.
Yeah.
It starts to bounce off, you know, water off a
It
duck.
doesn't matter. They.
I think that one the other day got to because someone done one not only just the other day with like a little highlights package of comments and quotes and screen
Oh,
captures and
really? I've not seen that. I'd love to see it.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on one of the mainstreams. Like
I wonder if Dean knows.
I think it was on his stream.
Oh, I'll find out. I would have missed that, I think. I've not seen that. I'd remember that. I wouldn't mind using
I'm
it.
sure he got one anyway.
If not, I'll make my own, at some point.
Yeah,
I've
it's
got so
probably
much
just a
of it.
Cyan archive. There's probably half a dozen of them on Cyans. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Rusty Trombone could be Cyan. Could really easily be Cyan. And I did think it was. That's why I didn't say anything, though, because everyone's like, oh, you think everyone's Judy? But I called him fucking Judy last night, and did he deny it? No, he fucking didn't.
Nah.
No, he fucking did not deny it. I would think that's probably him. It's definitely Judy Chudders. That is definitely Chudders, right? Because when I went over to Ricardo's,
Well,
I
they
know he got
wrenched
a second.
At Ricky's channel, and he had no dramas wrenching them. But
Well,
then,
no.
see, I've got people blocked, so I hear him talking to Kuya, and then I don't see them in the chat, and I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
which one of these alts is he fucking talking to? But then I'll see on another stream just like a whole bunch of it's like, oh shit, I wasn't saying that.
And then what they're prepared to take and what they make publicly that they've always been, their ethics changes on a daily basis as well. Remember that. So you've got the alts changing, the stream concept changing, the audience changing, their personality changing, and then the whole history changing and flipping over whenever you want. So it's really interesting, isn't it? You can see why a lot of people just are like, oh fuck it, like with Vic yesterday, was just like, oh fuck it. But I'm like, if you hold on to a fucking thread on this, it's a right fucking ride. What are you joking? You just got to
got to
hold on
grab on,
to
mate.
it.
You've got to grab on, mate.
Yeah, you just got to hold on, and you've got to stay strong with your holding point. And if you do, then you can flap around with it. But if not, you're just watching this thing flapping in the wind, and it'd be very boring to watch.
And that good stuff I meant was like how like a few people have all come through the other side, and it's like they're all better off for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like I've said that to Ben Spassing. I'm like, you can play your games, man, but like the shit some of these people have been through, like they'd be pretty fucking tired. Like you're gonna look like a dickhead before you even try. Like
I don't know what he's trying with me. Yeah, I just don't know. But I don't see anything bad from him.
But to be fair, like he's seen a lot of old videos.
Mm.
So yeah, he knew all
Yeah, but his
my
memory might not be any better than ours. His memory might be just as shit as ours is.
Well, that's probably the case, but
yeah,
he reckoned he like he knew my old videos.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, he's been around for a bit. I mean, he was lurking for ages, weren't he, before he even said it, got his voice on. So you get to absorb a lot more when you're just watching, don't you? I think.
Yeah. You don't realise how quick it goes.
It goes so quick when you're in it because, like, who was asking me? Rusty Trombone himself was asking me last night, when am I going to smash a game stream? And I'm like, of course I will. But again, it's like it's never going to happen at the moment because I've only got time to do, say, 1, 2, maybe 3 max streams a week. And I'm going to do it on this because I want to get it done.
See, I just thinking just then, like, I wouldn't even put it past some of, like, those petty cunts to, like, they seem to want to copy, like, most cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even put it past them trying to pretend for their like little simpy crew,
Yeah, for the drama. Yeah.
that they can do this drama like everyone else. And because like that was a pretty cool thing how like a few of you guys have all made up and
Mm,
you aren't besties, but you all hang on a stream for a bit.
yeah.
I reckon they're trying to prove that they can maybe do some shit like that. Like
Could
have a
be.
big nasty bust up and like we can all get back on the same page. And maybe even to get a few simpy guys off the sidelines.
Maybe.
Like come in, you can get fucking ripped apart. Let us know, show us a few of your bones, and we'll all make up at the end, and it's all good. Like you're seeing our bones,
They've been
you
doing
know.
that with Doshin for a long time. We see the way they do it is they have to do it in a safe space. They have to sacrifice someone over and over again. There's no.
Well, yeah, you have to, because otherwise it could get too savage and out of
Yeah, it
control.
could get actually real. It could get how it is on our side, where you actually do get to know each other a bit, and that's why you make up. But the thing is, they're too scared. It's all about contriving it so it looks like it's happening when it's not really happening. But how
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like to
they'll
make it
only
look.
get those
Yeah, yeah,
they'll only get those results that we've got over on our basically I say our side, like everywhere else other than them. They won't
yeah.
get those results because
But see, they're gonna sit
you need to
back
be
and think it's
real.
like results are guaranteed when
Yeah.
nothing was ever like that at the time. Like when things were getting real, like
It can't exist. It can't. The
there was
reason
lots
this
of
exists is
friendships that
because
may
it's
not have.
real, and they're
Yeah,
not. And so it comes to a point where it's just like they're just making themselves more and more and more distant, and more. They're taking the quote unquote high road
yeah,
more
but
and
that's
more
what I
and
mean.
more
It
until
doesn't
they
make
high
it
road
any more.
themselves off the fucking planet. You are.
Yeah, and like you just said, like that sort of puts you further and further away from the real.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
That's just
They're off
even
on their
more
fucking
fakey
planet.
bullshit. Like,
They're off on their own planet now. And I
yeah,
don't know. That's what I'm saying about it doesn't matter. So I don't know. I agree with you up to a point. They could be doing that, but I do think probability wise, just because of them all being part of substance abuse, it takes them a while to get anything going. I think it would involve quite a lot of awareness and planning to do that. And I think getting Evil and Ricardo to run something like that would be difficult. But
yeah, but you
their
got fucking,
intentions could be there.
you got Newman that's just sitting there
Mm,
doing nothing all day,
yeah, and you've got Kyria doing
and
this.
all he does is copy what everyone else has done
Oh,
2
mate.
days before, and then copies it for the next fucking 12 months.
I'm just waiting. I'm still waiting to find out when he's going to end up back over at Ricardo's. I really am. I'll put my.
He's still there. Like he's some of the alts that were just there in his last stream.
Yeah, oh, I know that. But when it comes to alts and stuff, yeah, but he doesn't know that they're alts. That's funny as fuck. But like, actually going in as Doshin and getting the
That's
red
what I meant. I
carpet
think he
treatment and all that
does.
shit.
And see, that's also some of what why
Mm,
Evil lets Nuben around, because Evil knows that Ricardo knows that they're Nubens, but he doesn't kick them. He just keeps them for that extra
yeah. He
extras.
knows who Valentine's
Yeah,
1996 is. He knows who that is.
yeah.
And yet, yesterday, on the second that I was on it for a second, because I was watching what Rusty Trombone had put, because that was what I came off. I had a bit of 5 minutes doing something or other. I can't remember what. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just check on Ricardo's to just see who's in the chat now. We've gone over. And there was Rusty Trombone crowing and all that shit and having a
Essentially,
laugh.
they've both got the shits at each other because they've both kind of got the attitude of do what I say, not always what I do.
Mm. But also,
But
yes,
the
I agree
other's
with
like
that.
trying to do that to the other one, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't two people
Ricardo
can't.
doesn't see the. They're both Mardy ass bitches when they want to be, but Evil can pull it together for the look of the thing, whereas Ricardo can't, and that's the difference. Evil
Yeah,
can pull it together and put a nice shirt on if he needs to, whereas
yeah,
Ricardo
but then
can't.
that's
He
to
just
see.
shits
He
all
used
over
to
the
also
place.
get Suki as soon as like I think I pointed a few out to you a few times where it's like that's why he doesn't really do a lot of panels on his shit, because
Mm,
like as soon as there's a couple of people talking, it's like he's not always in the convo.
I'm
And
being
then he
told.
gets a little, like, he drops a little noob and snarky bombs.
Yep.
Like he'll go silent for 10 minutes and then he'll just be like, it's only my channel. You guys keep talking.
Oh God, yeah, well
You know,
spotted.
and then he won't say nothing
That's
for
him
another
all
10,
over. That is
just a
him
little
all
snark
over.
bombs. Like, but
Yeah, snark
he
bombs.
he was all right for half hour. He was good for like half hour before it, but then like a couple of people will start like the
It
combo
pisses
will
him
sort of
off.
steer away. Like,
Too many people. I think too many
yeah,
people piss him off, right? This is what the fundamental problem is with evil. And this is why it's kind of more pure in a sort of form with evil. Even though it's bitchy and all that stuff, it's not quite as stagnant. It's not quite as it is slimy and horrible. I'm not just excusing him.
I'll just sit here and let you all talk.
Yeah, but it's not quite as bad because it's just like, yeah, he just can't
I only pay
handle
for the
it.
channel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the snarky shit. And
Yeah,
Ruben
he
does
just
the
can't
same.
handle it. He wants all the people. He wants to collect them all up. But when they're all there together talking, he's like, oh shit.
He's never liked it.
Yeah,
Never.
he never liked it. He doesn't like it. It just puts him about. It puts him physically uncomfortable. He does not like it. It's like me on a Sunday dinner with my fucking family. I can't fucking stand it. I've told my sister, I'm like, it regresses me. It's like it regresses me because she was like saying about when you have a kid, it regresses you back a bit. And I'm like, it's true, it does a bit sometimes when all my family's together and they're all together. I've told them many times. I'm like evil. I'll be like, right, okay, I'll do the dinner. I'll be doing the dinner and I'll make it all nice. I'll get it all set up and I'll set everything up nice for them. And everything's nice and friendly and we're having crisps in bowls and chatting away at first, right? And then everyone's sat down and I feel like I've done my job. Do you know what I mean? And I'm in there fanning around with the dinner and I'm like, you guys, welcome to my house. You guys help yourselves, enjoy the food. Don't expect me to come in and talk to you because it just ain't going to happen. And it's not because I don't want to do it. It's just that fundamentally, I find myself just in the kitchen again and in the kitchen again. I just avoid them completely. And I love them. I love them, but I avoid them because when they're all together, they give me PTSD, see? But when
See,
they're
that'd be different than if you didn't go to the family events and then just like turned up and was like snobby for a couple of hours and
yeah,
then just like
exactly. You think
fucked
you're
off.
better than them, or you're causing shit with people,
Yeah.
or you go over to one part of the family and say,
It's
"Oh,
like
this
you're
person's a
hosting
bitch."
this shit. So it's like, fuck it. I'm just going to go like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I just take responsibility. I'm just like, look, I've got a little bit of PTSD. I love you all. But I just can't stand being in a room with all of you. So I'm going to go and have a spliff outside, see in a bit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I was going to say, I'd do the same shit where I'd be like up the shed smoking bongs.
That's it. My brother's a smoker as well, though, so it's good. So he'll smoke.
Or I'd like, that's where the cigarettes come in handy because no one else smokes.
Yeah. Oh, no, weed's all right in my family. Because my dad was a hippie.
Well, others smoke weed, but I'm the only one with cigarettes.
Ah, okay. Oh, right. Okay, you're the only tobacco hound. Oh, right, yeah.
Nah.
My sister's a complete non-smoker.
Yeah, there's a couple of strict ones. So it's like, oh, I'll just duck over here. I'll be back in 5. Like,
yeah, she was the ex-smokers, isn't it? It's the ex-smokers that are almost sometimes on top.
Yeah.
And they can smell it coming on you as well. So there's that.
They're the worst ones for smelling it. Like,
it depends as well with the ex-smokers because you're like, are you pissed off because you secretly like the smell and you're jealous secretly and you're pissed off? Or are you pissed off because you really, really don't want to do it anymore? And you really are genuinely pissed off at this? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got a couple of friends that are like, they're staunch, like, ex-smokers. Like, they used to smoke hard. But for some reason, like, they're not Nazis about it. Like, I know others that are.
I know what you mean, yeah.
But some are like the cool, like, my closest friends, like, they're like that. Like, they're staunch non-smokers, but they really don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah,
like they won't let you. Well, they used to let me smoke in the car and shit. Like, but then it was really because he bought another, like, a nicer one. But when it was like the old work gear, no, I didn't give a fuck. Like,
oh, and they've never smoked, your mates, or they
no,
did.
they used to, but they quit.
Yeah. I've got a mate like
Like,
that.
you know what I mean? Like, they weren't like a Nazi ex-smoker. They were
No,
like
exactly. I'd
almost
like
like
to
an
be one of
understanding
those.
smoker, like, and they'd be
The
like,
the accommodating ex-smoker. Yeah.
yeah, like the one like when you sort of pull up somewhere and it's like, oh fuck, I've just got half a ciggy, I'll throw it. Oh no, fucking don't throw it, fucking finish the cunt. I'll stand there,
My
like.
mate's like that. Yeah. She's like that.
Whereas
She
like
got me
some
back
others will
into
be like,
it.
they'll sort of keep walking, and it's like, oh fuck it, I'll just chuck it. Like we're all walking in the pub or something, like.
Yes, I know exactly what you
And
mean.
then
Yeah,
others
they've
will
got the
be like, oh
understanding.
fuck, you only just lit that. Oh, hang on, and they'll hang with you.
Yeah. They don't put
Like,
the pressure on.
yeah,
Exactly. My mate's the same. I went and I'd meet her, and then I'd have like half a fag on. She's like, "You can smoke it in the car. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "Really? I never ever do that.
yeah.
Never."
See,
And
some of our places, it's like they're a bit funny about smoking, like say 4 meters in front of shops and shit. So it's not
yeah,
like you can still smoke on the footpath, but
can
you
you?
kind of like duck away because, like, say it's a little strip of shops, like you'll just go smoke around the corner rather than just out the front of them because they all want you to be a couple of meters from each other.
Mm,
And
yeah, I mean, it's weird.
it's
It's a
like
weird
those
one,
ones,
isn't it?
it's, yeah, like they'll wait with you around the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah, big ups
yeah.
for me. Big up, blood. Fuck.
That's it. You've been through it, and it's just you just happen to not smoke anymore. But that's all there is to it. They've not got their identity and ego attached to it, have they?
Well, one of them was also like a sort of a recent one where they were expensive as well. So
Mm,
they'll be like, "Oh no, don't throw it, man! They're fucking $2 each. Those cunts, fucking.
yes,
Okay, I'll wait
yeah.
with you, mate. Fuck that. Don't waste that shit." You're
Those
like, "Oh,
guys are
fair
about a
enough."
fucking week away from going back on it,
But...
aren't they? Those guys, they would go back on it at the drop of a fucking hat. I tell you now. They'll tell you that with every bone in their body that they'd stop, but if anything happened that gave them an excuse, they'd be straight back on it.
Well, I was nearly in the same boat where they like they kind of got phased out. Like it wasn't because they wanted to quit. It was like it just got expensive,
Yeah.
and it was just like stupid. And like, no, like fuck it, I'm giving up. These cunts are getting too dear.
Yeah.
And I was like nearly in the same boat. Like I was like, there was because our pay, not pays, but our there's like inflation, but those go up every like it was like every CPI, so it was like every 3 months or some shit. They'd go up a couple of dollars. And it was like after the last, it was like, oh fuck, like that was fucking dear. Like, I don't know if I can keep doing this shit. Like,
Uh,
you know what I mean? Like, fuck,
yeah.
that last like increase like that sucked. Like, now you're getting like packets of 20s instead of 25s and 30s, and it's like, fuck it, I'm just like,
What
it's not worth it.
25s? We never had 25s. It was always 20s. Always.
No, see, we used to get bigger packets like 30s and
Oh,
40s. So
we
you weren't always buying, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you went and bought smokes, like, you had smokes for a few days.
you could get like one of them big packs like you get on holiday. Do you know what I mean? Which has got like 10 packets of fags in a
Yeah,
big
like,
line. Those
that's
ones.
like a carton.
Yeah, carton. You could buy the carton,
Yeah.
but
Well,
not
no,
like
you
a
could
bigger
still,
pack of bags.
yeah, well, no, we could buy like, it was roughly the same was in a carton, but it would just be different size packets. So you might be able to get like 30s. Like, we had all like 30s, 25s,
There
40s.
might have been like one that maybe did 25s. Or there
Yeah,
was
no, we love them.
one pack, one extra fag or something in there. I don't even know anymore.
25s were like the most popular one here for, and 30s,
25s.
and
Fucking.
then like 40s. So it's like you got fucking like a big ass box. Like, it's a pretty big packet too. Like, it's a good box of
I wonder
smoke.
what Volp thinks about that. If he remembers any differently. Did you hear what he was saying? We need to talk to him about the fucking Amstrad, don't we?
No,
No fucking
no, he's
cartridge,
eating it.
mate.
Yeah, that fucking idiot Ben
I know I
Spassi.
don't play any games, and apparently I'm a fake and all that shit. But even I know there was a fucking cartridge on the 464 plus at
I'm
least.
pretty sure there was at the back.
It was on the side for us.
Well, yeah, somewhere. It wasn't on the front or on like the top of the keyboard. But you could plug a couple of peripherals into the back. I think you could even plug a printer into it.
Well, my mate had a.
And my one, like, you could also have plugged. Yeah, it had an I/O thing for the disk drive as well. So
Yeah,
you could have.
my mate had the floppy disk. We
Yeah,
didn't have the floppy disk on ours. We had the cartridge and the tapes. They
yeah,
had the
but he
floppy
could have
disk.
plugged that floppy disk into yours, and it probably would have, like, you would have had a
Yeah,
spot
we
for
would
it.
have been.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would have been fine. Except they had a green screen and we had a coloured screen. So I think did they not even do that one time and bring theirs over? I don't think they did.
yeah.
No,
I had the
they had
color
a separate
screen.
tape deck.
Well, it
Theirs
was
was just
like a
like a
blue
normal
screen.
tape
When you
deck.
turned it on, it was like blue.
What ours was a colour screen on ours. It was blue background, yeah.
Yeah, and then the games were all color.
Yeah, it was all colour. Yeah, but on my mates, the reason we got an Amstrad is because my mate had an Amstrad and they had a green screen one. And it was like, right.
Yeah.
At the time, I think their kid would have been, he was like a year older than me. And he was just like super into computers. So I was what? 8, 7, something like that. And he'd already rigged up the spare tape player to go onto that Amstrad, so he didn't have to just use the disk drive. He was well into it. He was right good at that shit.
Yeah, I only had the tape drive, but a friend at school had the disc one.
Yeah, the
But
disc was
I was
cool.
lucky. Like, I knew probably not at the time, but by the end of owning that thing, like, I'd met probably 3 other dudes in town who, like, each had about 30 or 40 games, and they were all different from each other.
Mm.
So, like, by the time we kind of swapped around our games, like, I had fucking heaps, like, because you could just
I
copy them.
remember.
Like, we
You
were
could
just like
copy them
taping
across, couldn't
games,
you?
and
Yeah.
yeah, you just copy them like a cassette.
Yeah, you did. And I remember, like, this is way before. And so when it happened with the PlayStation, and I remember that moment where you wake up and you're like, the golden age is over. You know what I mean? And you have that moment, you're like, oh my God, we were in the golden age and I didn't even know, and I took it for granted. That happened with the PlayStation 2 for me. And the PlayStation 1, so all after that, and then when it stopped, and you're just like, oh fuck. Oh fuck! I just assumed the future was going in this direction. I didn't know it was going to just get completely changed and taken off course, and now we're in like corporate hellland, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse forever and ever and ever. And boy, was I right. And that was in the PlayStation, just like around PlayStation 2 times. But prior to that, when the tapes finished, I'd already been through that fucking existential fucking midlife crisis at the age of fucking 11. You know what I mean? When I was just like, the tapes are over. The golden age is fucking over, mate.
See, personally, like, I played like heaps of like, even like all those old shitty fucking Ataris, and I never really not, like, looking back, like, at the time, like, growing up with those, like, in their own spots, like, even though they're shit now, like, it wasn't, you didn't know any better at the time, like, or there wasn't any better, and it was like, you played it for a couple of hours, and you only really got to play it for a couple of hours because then some cunt wanted the TV.
Yeah.
Or it was fucking dinner time, or like.
Well, back
But
in those days, there was a where you only
I'd
had so
never,
much
like,
fucking
I'd
screen
never
time.
not played a bad game until it was on the fucking N64, and I paid $110 for this fucking thing. And I was remember, like, I'm an iron over Tony Hawk or this one, but a mate had already had Tony Hawk on PlayStation, so I could play it there whenever I wanted. I'm like, fuck it, no, I'm not gonna get that. Like, I can just play it at old mates. I'll get this other game. And it was a piece of fucking shit. And it just was not. I remember just sitting there just being devoed. Like, just like, how can this isn't like all that good? Like, what the fuck happened? Like,
Yeah, you expected it to be
I've,
amazing because of.
yeah, like the cover sounds like, it all sounds kick ass on the cover. Like, the fucking graphics look good on the cover. Like, what the fuck, mate? Like, and it was $110.
Fuck
Like
hell.
what? All of our N64 games were about that price. So it was a premium game, and I'm like, I've never had, like, I've never ever not played a game that I've not had fun. Like,
Yeah,
how did this happen? Like, when this can't be right.
that was the start of it with the PlayStation, but
And then really there was a couple of games on the 64 that did that to you,
oh,
like that
64.
Superman one and fucking
Yeah.
there was a couple of others, and it was like
It was the licenses, weren't it? It was just that start of that, because with the Amstrad and during those times, that you didn't get just like a shit game just because it happened to be a license. That all came with the PlayStation 1 and the N64.
yeah, but like half the games were shit, so it didn't really matter. Like, and you could still play it or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you still got a couple of hours out of it, or they'd like
True.
you'd play other games and finish it, and it's like, oh fuck it.
I don't know. I think that's possibly something to do with the concept of it as well, though, because like as a kid, if you'd have been a kid looking at that, you probably would still have got a couple of hours play out of something shit. Do you know what I mean? But you were a bit older then as well.
Well, that's what I meant. Like because that was like a current game, and it was like I'd never had that happen before. Like even as a kid, like every game at the time you could excuse, and then it was like I copped this one, and I'm just like, fuck, I'm
no excuse for this.
I've been fucking ripped. Like when
to be fair, I remember that
this is
happening to
something
us.
brand new. Like,
and when it happens, can you remember every little aspect? You know, a bit like when people say, "Where were you when Elvis died?" or whatever, and you can remember exactly where you were.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fucking Starshot Space Circus Fever on the N64. And I fucking was umming and ahhing over Tony Hawk Pro Skater or that.
And you've only got that one shot as a kid, haven't you? Yeah, that's it. And that's you for a bit. Yeah. You're like, bucket with the fucking chocolate bar. That's
it. Yeah, I got the fucking carrot instead of the Mars bar.
Yeah, you didn't get the golden ticket by a long shot. But I was like that with a time when it actually does really stand out. And I think it was like a learning experience as a kid of like disappointment or something, with your expectations being dashed in a way that's never happened before. And you're kind of like, you want to cry, but you don't cry, but you kind of feel like crying, and everyone else in the room feels like crying as well. And I remember this, and me and my brother and my sister, and we'd got Sonic 2 for the Master System. We'd already got it for the Mega Drive. My brother had got it for the Mega Drive, or I don't know which way round it went, whether we got ours first or they got that, or we got his. But yeah, that's why we knew for a fact we'd been shafted, because we could play the other one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could play the Mega Drive version, and the Master System version of it just didn't work. It was just weird. It was just super, super weird. And we were just like, what is this? And it was just super confusing. And maybe we just didn't get it because we were really young kids. I don't know.
I remember getting that Sonic 2 for the Master System.
And did it confuse the fuck out of you? And were you like, what the fuck is this game? This is nothing like the game I've been playing for the Mega Drive.
Nah, because I would have played it from playing Sonic 1 on the Master System.
Yeah, well, we did play Sonic 1 on the Master System, and that was fine.
Those ones were like, I'd hired it. So we'd hired the games, like we had the console.
Yeah.
But we had video shops that had games, so we could go and hire the Master System games.
Yeah.
And Sonic was one that like we'd been playing the ass out of it. Like that was what we used to go up and hire.
Yeah, we were
had a chance.
looking forward to it. I'd had dreams about what this game was going to be like. I was so excited.
Yeah, and then like the second one came out, and it was like all coming around Christmas time. And I think I just got the second one for Christmas, but I don't remember it being like broken.
It might be Christmas for me as well, actually. It was shit. Me and brother, I remember playing it and being like, this doesn't make any sense. Like the hang gliding bit. Do you remember there was a bit with a fucking hang glider and all that shit?
Yeah.
And it was just like, I was expecting it to be like the one that I played on my brother's. And it was nothing like
I don't know. I thought we just put up with it. Like it was like it wasn't.
I'd put up with the number one.
Like it
had so many similar. I'm sure it wasn't a broken game, but to a kid, it broke me. It wasn't a broken game.
So how different was it on the Mega Drive?
I don't know. I played the Sonic on the Mega Drive, and then we wanted to play a thing. We'd played Sonic 1 and Sonic on the Mega Drive and the Master System.
Yeah.
But I played way more on the Master System because it was on the Mega Drive with my brothers. And although I did play a lot of my brother's console, I was upstairs in my room playing on mine. So we were excited about this Sonic 2 for the Master System.
I've probably still got my Sega somewhere, you know.
I looked for it the other month. It was just before Christmas. I was gutted. Couldn't find it in my mum's loft. It's in there somewhere. I know it is. It's full of spiders and arachnophobia in that fucking loft. And I battled them. I still couldn't find it.
I'm pretty sure they're saying a bunch of shit that my olds just threw out. And like, I don't think I ever really told them to keep it, but I didn't think that they'd chuck it as well.
Yeah, I remember as soon as I got that
I think they've
system,
gone
I said,
cleaned out.
I was already looking at it from a fucking retro perspective when I first opened that present, and I said, "This will be worth." And I remember saying, "This will be worth some right money one day. This is going to be an antique." And that was like literally as I was opening it. I was a kid, but I just fucking knew it. Do you know what I mean? Because you could feel that you were at the beginning of something, couldn't you? You could feel that it was all to come.
Yeah, we just used to play everything. Like the thing, I never thought arcades would go anywhere. And like I was like a full little arcade rat. And
we didn't have them. Like, we had them at the seaside, but like we didn't have them. We did go to the arcades in the shopping centre, but they didn't happen till the 90s. You know, the whole like 70s, 80s arcade thing never happened. Not round my ends anyway. Yeah, if you were on holiday, sweet as a nut, mate. Fucking brilliant. Very good arcades. Very good. Nothing like them ever again. Fucking shit now. I've been to a modern arcade.
I don't want to dox myself, but we had heaps of them. Like, maybe for the same reason why you didn't say them, because they're at tourist places. But it was like, we never thought they were going to go anywhere.
And then it was just one in the tourist place near me that was going until like the early 2000s, and I was so jazzed. I thought it'd go anywhere, and it's not been back for ages. It's a shitty market now, a right shit market.
Well, see, ours started to like, as were probably like the American style, like they were like little shops, like, you know what I mean, like mum and pop shops, but they'd be like maybe down each side of the wall, like say 8, 9, 10 machines, and then like just a little change counter at the end, and like that's all that there would be in the shop.
That'd be fucking banging. We never had anything like that.
Yeah, and just like, but this was back like when no cunt gave a fuck about smoking or anything like that, and they used to sell like chocolate bars and cans of drink and stuff like that, and bags of chips. But he didn't give a shit like if you smoked in there, and because there was probably older kids that were like able to do all that stuff, but it was like, yeah, like they weren't like real big places. They were just like little shops. But then they started to get bigger. Like you got like franchise ones, and they would be like, they were the ones that were in the shopping centers and the malls.
Exactly, and that's what started it.
Yeah, it's like then they kind of, once they got big, the other little ones fucked off.
Yeah, then you'd be getting them in like, you get a few machines in a pizza shop or something.
Yeah, or in a fish and chip shop. Or,
yeah,
but it's probably because like one's closed down and they've gone and sold all their machines to the shops around them. That's how they fucking go. And then once these bigger ones, like they sort of fucked off. It was like that was the end of it all. Like the mum and pop shops had all been long gone.
That's it. That's what they do, innit? They eat them up and then they
then they've crunched the whole thing and it's fucked. Like,
and I mean, even the little arcades and the little coastal towns that I went to, like the one that was still going, like up until recently, was in a right shitty little coastal, one of the shit ones that you go to where you're like, let's go there today, the right shithole. And
that was the shit thing, because some of the bigger ones that were in the shopping centers, like they had fucking all the kick-ass games, like, and they were all like good cabinets, and like
And the VR
they'd have like,
fucking
well, they'd
shit.
have like the Daytona set up, but it'd be like fucking 8 cars at like the whole track,
Yeah,
not just
exactly.
like a
Yeah,
2 or a
a
4
big
or something.
feature in there as well. Like they'd have like a big feature,
Yeah,
flagship
but
thing to have on.
yeah, but they used to do like unlimited nights and days where you just like you'd pay like 5, or I think sometimes they're like 5, maybe $10, and
Mm.
you'd get like a couple of hours, and they'd put them on free play. And it was like everyone's just like running around going spastic, fucking
Well, that's
yeah.
where I am lucky with that, because there is somewhere that does that around here, but I'll not say any more because it will dox me. But there is somewhere that does that now, but not back in the day. So there's somewhere
Yeah,
you
no.
can
Well,
go
back
now.
in
You
the
pay a tenner and you can play on loads of old games. It's right good.
yeah, we had like places that'd do that on like a Friday night when we were like say 15 and 16.
Yeah.
It was like you just go there and just like go fucking bananas, like.
It's also, me and my sister were talking about this yesterday. It's like having a place for kids that really is kind of owned by kids at some level, even though it's not. And nowadays you've got all this stuff where it's like child run, entertainment, child led stuff and all this stuff, and it's all talked about being it. It's all bigged up and upsold into being this thing. When actually
Yeah.
what you want is just somewhere that kids will just genuinely choose to go themselves and meet with their friends, and it's like they've chosen that place. That is then their youth club of their own choice. You go and you fags with your mates there. Do you know what I mean? It's not been orchestrated
Yeah.
by that any more so than just providing the space to do it in, and being open enough and nurturing enough and protective enough of the kids without being overprotective. And I think
Yeah,
arcades and all
but
that.
you're right, because we wouldn't have been able to be told where our place was to go hang out and do
Exactly.
our own shit.
Get
We had to
off by your
find it.
parents. That's what it is now, isn't it? You go to your prescribed youth and that's it. That's where there's no like,
Well,
you don't
see,
find
this
your own youth
wasn't
club.
like, none of this was like really supported by your parent. Like, even like on the Friday night ones, it's like, oh, that was a bit different because we're getting a bit older. But like, not when we were young. Like, fuck, like, I'd race
Yeah,
up as soon as
sociable,
I
isn't it?
got 20. Dead so, as soon as I got 20 cents, I'd fucking run straight uptown and go play something. Like, there would be about 25 different places I could choose from. It was like whatever game was like I'd kind of been hanging for.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
or how far I'd want to like bike ride into town,
Man,
and whether I'd got 20 cents or 40 cents.
we never
Because
had
like
that option.
we had like the cheaper games were 20 and some of the better ones were 40, but some places had in shitty cabinets better games, but they were still 20 cents.
Yes, I know that one.
And
Yeah,
it like that may be fucking way over the other side of town, but it's worth it because it's half the price for the
yeah,
same game.
yeah. That's what it was like in that little seaside town that we used to go to. Because back in the day, you just took it for granted, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and you just like the glory days are over with the tapes. I remember that. I remember being sad. I remember grieving for that.
But if there was places like that now, like they'd just be fucking pedo pits.
Well, they
You know what I
are.
mean?
There's
Like
nothing like it now, but I remember going round, and it
there
was.
is no way like you would give a kid like say like, oh, here's fucking $1. I don't want to see you for
Could you
2 hours,
imagine? Exactly.
knowing you're
Could
gonna
you
fuck off
imagine that?
uptown to go to the pennies. Like
You'd never see your kid again. You'd be taken away by the fucking social services for doing that. You know what I mean? Like, unbelievable. Like, I took 2 kids, and it was when my kid was really little. It was a few years ago now, but his friend was my friend's kid was a bit older, and I took them to go bowling at this new bowling alley in town that had only just opened. And they had a little retro gaming bit round the corner, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I couldn't remember if they had Outrun, they had a few little things like that, and the kids wanted to play on them. So we had to use counters to do it, and it was
like
literally
tokens.
Yeah. So I had to go to the bar, which was like 5 foot away, but my kid was really little at the time, so I was a bit like, "Oh, I hope he'll be all right." But you could see him. It was just round a corner, tiny little corner, and I just had to run to the bar, get these tokens, and come back. By the time, and I was a few seconds, the amount of time it takes to run across. There was no one at the bar apart from me. Just get served and go back. And in that time, there was a fucking guy already in that fucking corner, already walking round, and I was just like, fucking hell, got the kids and just fucked off.
Yeah, it's a different world.
It's ridiculous. We didn't even play on one of those games.
Yeah,
I've never been back in it.
Yeah.
They had a fucking place. What's it? Simpsons as well. They had a Simpsons aid in there, but we weren't going to play it because that fucker just stood in there straight up. Like I was in there for it was like 30 seconds, mate. 30 fucking seconds. That
they've got like full on like retro bars now where there's heaps of games and it's like just like a pub.
Yeah, there used to be one in Swansea, and they were going to do a Fallout night, and it was when I was pregnant, and I got a T-shirt printed that said because I was pregnant at the time, and it was like get strong, drink milk or something like that. And I'd had it printed and everything ready for this Fallout night, and they never fucking got around to doing it because that's what I found with these games, and maybe it's not the same for you in different culture as well, but like it's all run by stoners and stuff and gamers, so it's like it goes for a bit and then either something fucks up and everyone falls out, or they just don't.
They only wanted to do one.
They ain't got the drive, you know what I mean? They wanted to do a Fallout night, but they never fucking did it.
They only wanted to do one. It's like after the first one, I was like, oh, that was a bit of a pain in the ass, wasn't it? Like,
we'll just sit in this place with all our consoles and all these games. We've justified it. We said, right, we've got all these consoles, we're getting all these games, we're going to have a bar, we're going to do all this shit. And then they do it. And then they just go, oh, do you know what? Let's just keep the doors shut. And we're just not going to fucking have this as a bar anymore. We'll just have it for our own. Something.
Just having a LAN party here. It'll be a fucking...
Yeah, it don't last very long in my experience with those things.
It'll turn into a Magic arena.
There's a couple of good ones, actually. There's a good cafe that I know of that does that's got all the consoles and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Oh, really? That'd be cool.
Yeah, and the food's nice as well, and that is like a mum and pop's thing. It's like, you know, yeah, that's where I played Guitar Hero Man with my sister. We finished it, and the guy was just like, no one ever gets that game. No one ever wants to play that. And he came over to watch us because he was just like, you know, never seen anyone do it. And we played it from start to finish. I don't know if we actually managed to finish the last boss or not. I don't know. In my edit, we did, but I don't know.
Yeah, so we got a game convention here. It's one of the American, like, you know how you got like Comic Cons and stuff?
What's that, sorry?
Like, we get gaming conventions here, like, you know, like Comic Con.
Oh, dear. Oh, no, we don't get anything like that.
Yeah, like, well, we get Comic Con here as well. Like, but we get one of the gaming ones from like PAX, one of the American ones.
Oh, right.
So yeah, like they started coming here like a couple of years ago. It's pretty big. Like even in the States, like PAX is a big one. Like it's not everywhere. Like they do, and it's not all at the same time. It's like they do PAX East, PAX West, and maybe like PAX Central, and then now they do PAX Australia.
Oh.
And it's like, yeah, like we're one of the official PAX ones, but like, I've gone to a few of those, and like half of it is sort of like a convention with all the new shit coming up, and if there's a new console, like it's on display, and there's like
little stalls and everything.
Yeah, like there's a Seagate display, there's a fucking PlayStation display, there's fucking everything up the one end of this convention, and then up the other end, it's like there's like a whole section where there's like just old retro consoles, and then there's like but you can hire the games.
Oh,
so
right.
like, and then they'll have like another section with all like PlayStations and Xboxes, but it's not. They're just hooked up to TVs, and you just kind of go and hire it, and like you'll just like walk. They've got like a big list of games, and it's like, oh yeah, well, and you just like scan your fucking lanyard cut, like your card, and it's like you can just walk up and like I'm talking like a couple of hundred PlayStations, like the current console, and they'll have like
cool.
like
in toys, innit? Like in toys,
yeah,
where
and
they're
then
all
like
in
you
there,
walk
like...
out of that section, and then there's like another sectioned off bit where it's the retro stuff, and you just like walk on, like you can just hire shit out. But then there's all like the tabletop games, and like
Yeah,
there's a
cool.
whole another section where it's like board games, and you can just like fuck
Huh.
it, just like grab a table and go and hire a whole bunch of board games and just play those. There's like chill out lounges and like
Wow,
they
that's
set
really,
up like DS hotspots and shit, and
that sounds cool actually. Are they very separate then, the board games and the console? I imagine so, for the size.
it's just like, well, it's sort of like one end of like a whole big hall, like where, but
Mm,
they're all kind of sectioned off areas. But then
mm.
where the
Interesting.
board games are, like you just take those out to the tables, and there's like, oh, there's fucking hundreds of them. But it's like there'll be people playing like card games or like
Mm.
just different tabletop games, like those,
It's
the ones
great
where
playing
it's like,
a board game and stuff, but I wouldn't go to a video games convention and play a board game myself personally.
well, you're there for the weekend, so
I
this is
suppose so,
like
yeah.
3 days,
It's
and
like a
it's like,
social thing, isn't it? Like you go do it as a social, like meeting up with people and stuff, and do your board game there. So,
kind of, it's just like fuck it for shits and giggles, like
mm.
like some of it, it's like, yeah, or you'll see something that's like, fuck, I haven't played. I remember that, fucking hell, like,
Yeah,
and
but there's
heaps
a
of
load of
like,
old board games, retro games and shit. Yeah, that'd be cool. I
yeah,
go to a
but then
board games
also like
cafe.
newer ones, like some of those new funny card games and stuff,
Yeah. Oh
and it's
yeah.
like
You get to
you'll
see
see
what's
one and
about,
it's
don't
just
you?
like it's a brand new one that year, and it's like you'll play it, it's like fucking hell, like that was funny as fuck, like you know.
Some right good
Well,
games. Unfortunately, when I go to the games place with my kid, and all the time, I don't go every time he goes because he's either going with different people or I'll be taking him. And he's played loads of games in there, but he's stuck on the same couple of games now. So it's just like we'll play the same games, even though there's millions of them in there, and we're just stuck playing. We've played Sprint a lot, which is it's like a tortoise and a hare game, and it is really good, and it's so simple. It's just like it's got the piece of the board, the actual what's the race course. You can make it yourself. It's modular. It's like little pieces, so you can choose the length of the game that you want to play, and then it's like I think it's up to 4 people, and then you can. I suppose as many people as you want, really, and we all play as the rabbit, and then the tortoise is the no. We all play as the tortoise, and the rabbit is the opponent, and so it doesn't really matter how many people are playing. We're all the tortoise, and then you have to every time someone goes, you have to cut the cards. You get a card, you pick a card from this other pack, and it'll tell you what a number on it. It just has a number on it, 13 or something. You have to then put your hand in, and without, really quickly, you have to choose cut the deck within 3 cards of 13 cards, and that's how you play it. And if you count the cards out once you've cut it, and the cards are more than if you've bust, then you won't get to move or whatever, and all the different things are attached to how many cards you are, how close you are to target, and all this other shit. But it's a cool little way of doing it, isn't it? Cut the cards and then count them if you've done it or not.
yeah,
It never gets tiring, it never gets
sounds cool.
boring. Yeah, it's really simple. So we just end up playing that, even though there's a million games in there.
But out of all the game conventions, I don't think I've heard any of these Americans ever talk about any of them going to a PAX.
I never heard of it until you
So you might
mentioned
have
it.
to fucking G them up about that.
Mm.
Because I've always wanted to know whether their PAXs are the same, where they set up like all the, like they even do like a computer LAN, like where it's all, they bring all the computers and all the fucking hardware, and like you can just like, you gotta wait, like, but you get like unlimited access to their like computer LAN.
Wow.
And there's like, I swear there was like fucking 280 computers in this LAN, and it's all hooked up to like the PAX Steam account, and it's like they've just got every game on these fucking computers, but because it's like fast connections and everyone's like, you're like sitting in rows of 10 people, and there's just like a whole fucking hall full of
That would
yous.
be a cool thing to do for a social, wouldn't it?
So it's like whole banks of people in shooters versus like, you know what I mean, like the people over there.
How cool would that be if
Like,
you arranged to meet a load of people who you didn't know, which I'm sure happens a lot online, on your online sort of comrade.
well, it happens
meet
just
up
on the
with
day because they organise competitions. Like there's up the other, like that's what I meant, like away from the convention, like where all the lands are, and even on the PlayStations and stuff, like they set up competitions. Like, so you get like a Super Smash Brothers comp on the like hardware in person on Wii's, or like it'll be a Super Nintendo, and it's like, oh fuck yeah, like here we go, like, and yeah, like it's pretty cool. Like same as the pinny, like the pinball machines, like, and because it's like that part stays open all night.
Yeah, I'd be in there.
So,
I'd just be in there all the time.
like, you know what I mean? Like half the convention kind of goes home because it's all kids and shit, and it just like where it would take you like maybe an hour to wait to get a go on the computers or something. Now you can just stay on there all night. And yeah, same as the pennies. Like, you know, when there's fucking 200 people, it's like you don't want to hog it.
No.
But then later on in the night, it's like no one's lining up for it, so you just like smashing away. But they do have comps. Yeah, it's fucking sick. It is. It's the best time. But I've never heard any of the Americans going on like. Whereas you hear them talk about like, was it used to be like EB Gate? What's that fucking? I don't know. Games Award, like retro cons.
Yeah. I don't know what ours is even. I've only ever been to a War Games convention and it was like a comic thing convention, like a small one in Swansea once. That's it, I think. I've not done any big ones. I did
I don't know. This
Fallout
thing is
things.
massive. Like, it's like 3 days.
Yeah, I'm more one for going to yeah, I've not gone to I've never gone for like the full 3 days either. I've only ever gone for like 1 day of anything like that. But the closest I've come to anything like that is going to the steampunk conventions and stuff like that. I suppose I was more into that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day. Because of Fallout, innit? Any time to get the old Pip Boy out, I was there. I was like, yes, count me
The
in.
very first one I went to was when like Fallout 4 was like literally about a week away.
Ah.
It was like, it just sort of came. I don't think they were even hyping up Fallout 4.
Oh, is this the one where you were telling me about where they had the little treasure hunt thing?
Yeah, the bobbleheads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucked that right up.
I would have loved that. That would have I would have been like, just beside myself with happiness if I'd have gone to that, I think. At the time,
You just didn't realize because there was just like everything had fucking that Vault Boy's face on it.
Yeah.
Like just a big smiley face with the thumbs up. Like it was just fucking everywhere.
Yeah, the start of Fallout 4, yeah, more than likely, yeah.
But then there was a couple of places where like I distinctly remember them just like bobbleheads. And just looking at it and going, that's like if you climbed up there and like what the fuck is that doing up there? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's weird, but that's a bobblehead.
And that's what you would have done in Fallout. You'd have climbed up and got it.
Yeah, and that's what you were meant to do. And because they then announced a raffle with on the bottom of the bobblehead, it had, you know what I mean? There's your code. So they'd fucking at the end they like raffled off, and you went and collected your prize.
The thing is, they couldn't have told people because it would have been a scramble then. They had to leave it so people would see it as it went. Otherwise, it would have just been really hard to manage. Do you know what I mean?
And yeah, maybe just drop little clues to people standing there near them or something towards the end of the day. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's the only way you could run something like that inside a place like that, because otherwise you would literally have people fighting over it, like fisticuffs.
Like generally, like everything gets stolen. So you know what I mean. Like if you put something there that's like a proper Fallout bobblehead.
Yeah, that's a piece of proper, like a proper.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it should get grabbed.
Yeah, that's it. But it's weird, isn't it? The way the places that your brain goes when you're in those weird situations that are kind of outside your normal, like a big, massive, like like a hangar somewhere. Do you know what I mean? That's just full of people. It's just weird, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Your
You
body's
think
out of it.
it's like the honesty kicks in, and you don't think to steal everything. Like,
Yeah, you just automatically. Yeah, you're in like a place that you're not used to being in. You're automatically in like, oh, I'll be good today because I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get any bad karma. I'm in this place. I don't know who the bad people are. I don't know who I need to like, watch out for. So I best be good.
I missed out on all like free Nuka colas and everything, and quantum colas, and like they like gave out all like official shit.
I would have loved to have drunk one of those. What's it? A sarsaparilla? What they call sarsaparilla sunset? Was it or something? What they call those
No,
things?
they just had Nuka colas and blue quantums.
Oh
But
man,
like after, like you'd see them like all around the place after it, like, and it's like fucking. They didn't give them out for like ages. It was like maybe there was a couple of hundred, and then once they were all gone, they've been gone. But
mm.
they were gone like so quick, and it's like they had you got like a show bad thing. You went through and like you had to wait for, but it took hours. So like half the people weren't doing it. It's like a 2 hour, like it just took out too much time out of your day. It's
Mm.
like waiting for a ride at the theme park.
Oh, you had to wait up queue for all the little things and
Well,
everything.
you'd have to wait in queue, and then you'd get taken into like the Fallout display, and then I think you got to watch like a bit of a video and like play a couple of minutes worth of it, and
Ah,
then like they kind of ushered you all out, and then you got a fucking show bag, and that had extra like Vault Boy shit in it and stuff like that, and that's where they're getting these Nuka Colas and Quantum Colas from.
I suppose people were just doing it for that bag, weren't they? And it was worth the queuing just for that.
Yeah, well, some of them like were like it wasn't worth it. Like I don't think he got much gameplay, and it was like you just watched a video or some shit,
Mm.
and like and then went and jerked off, and then it came out next week.
Yeah.
And there's been other games that did that stuff, but you got to play like levels of it
Mm.
that you've only got like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then like your group got escorted out.
Oh right, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Some of them were pretty cool. Like they were like kick-ass games. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember
that's cool.
talking
You
to
can just go as a group and have that experience. And you'll
you
never
know
forget
that
that.
Xbox game, the Odin Din. It's like
Oh yeah. Oh, it's one of my favourites. The Obra Dinn. Oh,
Odin Din. Like it's all black and white and
that
shit.
wasn't an Xbox game, was it? That came out on Steam. That was a
Oh
Steam.
mate, I think it was an Xbox.
At the beginning,
But see,
no, not when it first came out.
well,
It was.
see, there's like a big indie section in the convention as well, and that dude was just there. Like that was just a
I
dude.
remember you saying you actually got to see he was on his own stall, wasn't he? Doing his
Yeah,
own.
he just had his fucking own little bench there, like amongst like a whole bunch of others in a convention.
Oh, that sounds so cool, man.
And it's like shits and giggles. Like we played it for a bit, and then it was like, oh fucking, this is a bit tricky. Like, and he's like, oh no, like you wait, like you got the watch will tell you what this, and then it's like, what do you think of it? And it's like, oh fucking graphics look pretty cool. Like,
It's
never
right.
seen nothing like this. You know what I mean? Like, it's
It's
fucking
a
out
great
there.
game.
And he's like, yeah, if you gave it a little while, like you need to play it for a bit, like. But he's like, it all comes back to memories, and then this references that, and there's like a mystery going on, and it's like, I'm like, oh,
Wow.
yeah, I'm like, it fucking looks pretty cool though. Like
And to
I
be
hadn't
able to
seen
actually
graphics
ask
like
the creator about what, that would have been amazing. Why he chose certain historical
I don't
things.
even think it had come out. Like this was just his little indie um project there.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I think it all came out like he was just building it on Xbox.
Oh, was it on Xbox then? Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so, or
The
some
time
shit
I
like.
heard about it, it was just on the computer.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a couple of games I've seen there that were like ended up seeing later on. Like
There you go. That's interesting. Oh, I love Obra Dinn. What a game. Maybe that's one to add to the list of games that I'll play, or one for Evil to do. There's one for your Evil.
It's not the usual, I suppose. It's something different.
Different, a lot of reading. But I don't think there's too much reading for a stream on. And in fact, I think a lot of it's voice acted, isn't it? From what I remember.
No, it's a lot of on-screen stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. It might be worth doing that one. Yeah, because I've only ever watched it play. I still remember it. See, that's why I've never really played, because I know who did it. So what are you going to do about that?
That's something that needs to be different each time you play it, but it's not like it's the same game. Like a little Telltale book.
The actual playing of it, I could probably be all right with, because I wasn't involved with the actual doing and all of the cross-referencing that makes you get to that end result is fine. But the actual end result is the bit I remember, and there we are. I know who did it.
I remember, I think this was the last PAX I went to. The new Doom was coming out.
Right.
Not Doom 2016, but the part 2 of it, the Doom Eternal.
Okay, yeah.
And it was like,
I remember that.
Oh, like that was fucking hype. Like everyone was waiting on part 2, because the 2016 one was pretty kick-ass. And it was like the full same crew back together. Like it was part 2 was just going to be another one, just steamroll it out of the park. And it was like they had the finished build, and it was like the launch dates were all fucking set, like release dates. It's all done and dusted. Full version game, fucking fine, like no more builds. And they brought it to PAX.
Oh yeah.
Like this was just before launch, and it was like they broke it.
What?
Like fully, like yeah, like there was some like pretty nasty bugs in it that like.
Was that the first time anyone had really done that with it then? In the state that.
Well, no, they'd played fuck out of it. Like it's just they brought it to like there's an Aussie crew, like the Doom Squad, like Doom Slayer Squad, and like they they had a go of it the night. There was some big fucking Bethesda function, and they had a crack on it the night before, and then at PAX, like they got the 3 days, and like there was like a Nemesis bug where it was like, if you killed someone, it come back at you and chased you through the game, but in the in multiplayer online shit. But they were supposed to come back at like a level appropriate.
Yeah.
But if like a gnarly level, like say you were like a level 100, if you got smoked by this thing, it took your stats and became like it just kept taking stats. And like they were just like ghosts on the servers, and because that game you can jump into others' online games and just like wreck their shit.
Oh right, you know that. That's cool.
Yeah, and like that's a feature of like, yeah, you could just like jump in and you could be like, but you're an enemy. So they had an interesting online, like you weren't all like Halo robots. It was like you were different characters out of the game. And yeah, like if the Nemesis was one of these, like they were just like you couldn't kill them, and they just like would pop into servers and just yeah. It was like so I had to like pause it all and fucking like the whole launch got put back, and
we've been warned about AI for years.
It would have been some shit like that, like the first.
That's what it's going to go down like. That's what it's going to go down like in real life,
got unleashed on the network, like no one would have been able to deal with it because it was the final build. They'd fucking the Nemesis were in the game, like at that level where and they can just pop in online, so everyone was going to get it. And yeah, without even
imagine it's clever enough to hide itself.
Yeah, well, they found
Like,
it.
yeah, like it is now. Like the stuff is now, though. It's all clever enough. There's shit like that going around stalking our network. The one that we've got all our fucking washing machines attached to. And they're stalking around and they know how to hide from us as well. That's what I've been learning. They've been hiding. Oh no.
Yeah, but that's not what you want to turn up in your fucking Doom game. Is an unfucking beatable Doom
You do not.
clone.
Or in any game. In your self-driving car game.
Just turns up and fucking one
in your
shot
smart,
you. Game
in your
over.
smart
It's
city.
like, what the fuck?
In your smart city game, like one of them rocks up. Oh shit. I thought you were a human for ages. You pretended to be this fucking guy from Human Resources or whatever, and now you're an epic
Like, it was
titan.
supposed to be such a cool feature for online where you could like just rock up into some cunt's game and like, yeah, just wreck shit. Like, as long as they're in that like multiplayer mode,
Yeah.
like it, you know what I mean? Like, and they're playing like their free game.
Right. Oh, that sounds right. I'd be down for doing some of that. Doing some of
Yeah, but you're not meant to be an unbeatable warrior. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're meant to be able to handle like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a fair fight, isn't it? It's up to you to
Yeah, which
sort.
is different. I don't know many other games that let you just crash in other
I know.
people's
I'm sat there
fucking.
thinking of. I mean, I don't mind. My knowledge of massive online isn't massive at all. But like, I'm just trying to think if I know of anywhere else that lets you in as the baddie on someone else's as well. So it's not even like on your own game if as you're like on as a baddie to sort of fuck around with the people who were left on the server that you've just left.
No, it wasn't even while they were playing online. Like, as long as they were connected to the internet.
Oh right. Oh wow. So you could
Like,
just go
you
on
could like
someone's.
bounce into like their single player campaign.
Oh, I've never heard of that. And would
That's
it come
how
up on
I
their
understood
screen
it.
as like that they would know it was a real person on that side, or would they just not know and it just be
You get
a
warned,
baddie?
like it comes up on your screen that
I
fucking
tell you.
someone's like entered your world and like it's fucking shit's about to get real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's someone's in your instance.
Amazing.
And like, yeah, like now the game
Amazing.
you were playing is like it's not all computer. Like, there's a human in here now.
Amazing.
Fucking heads up, cunt.
Like brown trousers time, you know, I mean, you've been rattling around in here for ages. There's someone in
Well,
here with
especially if you're playing on like easy mode, just like smashing through, Doom, and then it just goes like beep beep beep. Fucking player two's entered the building,
yeah. And you're
and
just like, oh
they're not
shit.
a Doom Slayer. They're one of the enemies,
Yeah.
so they're just like random cannon fodder. And it's
Yeah.
yeah, they may not be the best, but what was happening was they were turning up as like copies of the Doom Slayer and just like boom, shotgun, headshot, game
Yeah.
over.
Oh right, and that's how it managed to take all your stats and everything.
Yeah,
Everything that
and then
everyone
you
had.
took that person's stat and then went and jumped in some other person's game and just walked up and fucking one-shotted them.
Wow.
And they're just casually playing Doom. But because they're online.
And then they'll just start up a new game, they won't think of it, but that thing has now got all those stats, yeah. Fucking hell. Wow. That's really like mystical, isn't it? It's like it's what those guys that eat people, they're trying to take the power of the person that, something mystical and ancient about that, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm just been thinking about Doom, because there's a new one coming out, but they're like, out of all the shooters, like they're not actually doing multiplayer, I don't think, in this new one. I think the whole thing's just like just a single player campaign. It's like, whereas that's one of the shooters that was like built on multiplayer.
Well, yeah.
Even like, but then they were going
Back in
away
the
from it. And
day.
like this last Doom, they were all kind of weird styles of multiplayer. And then now this one, they've just scrapped the whole thing. Like,
That is interesting.
yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, it
Hopefully they
should.
don't fuck it up.
It should be a good one. Even I'm interested in that because it shows a a progressive idea.
Well, this one's meant to be a prequel, I think. So it's like a prequel to the 2016 Doom. Where, yeah.
2016, I was not playing. Oh, I was playing No Man's Sky and Fallout. That was when I was pregnant with my kid, I suppose. And then I had to stop all games that had guns in for ages. And then someone showed my kid Among Us anyway when he was younger, so now he's got like, it's all about stabbing people with knives and all the rest of it, which is great.
Yeah. No, the Doom that came out in 2016, that's just what everyone calls it. Doom 2016.
Oh, right, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. I remember there being a big thing about it.
That was kick ass. That was probably one of the, like, I don't know, like, I don't reckon I had that much fun playing Fallout 4, but I put a shitload of time into that on the PS4. But I reckon between Alien Isolation and that last game we were just talking about, they're the ones I probably had the most fun playing on the PS4. I just forgot what game we were talking about a second ago.
Doom 2016.
The Doom 2016, yeah.
For me, for the PlayStation 4, it was Fallout and like I say, No Man's Sky, I think. Was there anything else? I'm just trying to think. There was that Final Fantasy game that came out. I wasn't struck on it. The one where it was a load of emo kids in the desert. Like on a they were like on a stag party or something.
One of the very, like, probably within the first half a dozen games I got on the PS4 was that Alien Isolation. Probably even earlier.
I haven't ever played that.
Games. But I was just like, the graphics, like, it was just like, this looks fucking sick. Like, and then, like, I wouldn't even play it. I'd just leave it on the intro screen. Yeah, it's fucking cool. I like that.
Oh, I'll have a look at that.
It actually, like,
PlayStation 4 over here.
It fully looks like the Alien movie. Like, it's pretty fucking close. But then it's a bit, I don't know, the alien's a bit cheesy in it. But
it's computer games though, isn't it? What do you expect? It's supposed to be a bitch.
If you play it on its face value, like, and I kind of did the first time I played it, like, I can remember there was bits where it was like, until I had a look, it was like, I just was hiding from this fucking. It was like being in the movie. It was like running from cupboard to cupboard and fucking hiding under this thing and like trying not to make a noise, and then I'd make a noise and get smoked, and then fuck, like trying to do it all stealth and like, yeah, I fully fucking like played that as I was in it.
Yeah, that sounds cool. To be fair.
And then was like, yeah, sitting back and you go, fuck, these graphics are sick, like, or I'd like come to a lobby and then
right into it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd come to a like open lobby or something, and then I'd just leave it looking out the window or something.
Yes. I used to do that on No Man's Sky.
Or like half the time I'd end up like playing a bit of it, and then I'd watch the movie after it and fall asleep, and then like, yeah, I was doing a lot of nights.
Just being right in it, in the whole world.
Kind of, and because it all just looked like the movie. Like,
yeah,
they've done it really well. Like,
wow. Maybe my kids.
And then it gets a little bit back and forward. You got to go here, and then you got to fucking walk back over there.
Yeah, but if the graphics are nice, it does definitely makes it a bit more.
Oh yeah, no, it does feel a bit grindy for after
does it?
Walk all the way up here, fucking turn this switch on, Now
Mm,
that's unlocked the door at the other end of the fucking hall
mm,
that you first walked into, and then
yeah, that might do made it a bit. If it's
now
just, it depends how they
now
do
you
it.
can catch the train, and then that takes you to the next fucking bit. Then you got to
Mm,
go and
yeah. Yeah, I don't mind a bit of grind. I think if it's used right, if it's like in itself, it's like a paintbrush in itself now, isn't it? If you're using the paint of grind in the right way, I don't mind it. But if it's too,
I
it's
suppose
too
they
heavily
did
like,
kind of like it's what you kind of get there, and then you've got to go turn everything on, and then you come back, and then you can use everything. But you've generally got to go and fucking, you know what I mean? Like this place is like you've turned up there, and it's all
you've got to
fucked.
flush it out first and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you got to go turn the fucking transit system on, and then you got to go turn the power on, and that turns the doors on, and then yeah,
Mm,
like the whole place is sort of half shut down and wrecked.
sounds cool though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she's Sigourney.
Explorative.
Like
A bit of
it's
the old
canon.
urban
It's pretty
exploring.
much canon with the movies. I think. Like
Mm.
I think they class it as it.
Well, maybe I will give that a try. That'll be after my kid goes to bed though.
There's
'Cause
some bit in it where it's. I think she's fucking Ripley's daughter
Oh right, okay. Okay.
in isolation, and
Uh,
it's like it's a prequel. It is just after Alien, but it's a prequel to Alien 2.
wow. Oh, so no
I
wonder you wanted
think
to watch the films again afterwards. I would do as well. I definitely would.
because I'm pretty sure like isn't her daughter like old in the second one when they find her? It's like she's been in a fucking stasis for like 100 years or something.
Oh, 100 years.
Or like I don't know, isn't she like older than what she is in part two?
Older than what she is. I don't know.
Like she went
Oh,
and she
like
had
older in the character is older than.
like because she went like in that
Like
deep
Lion-O
space.
sort of thing. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, like she was like in like asleep for like fucking 50
Yeah, yeah,
years or
yeah.
something in space. Like because after the first one they
Oh,
like
right. Yeah. So, like, this is that period sort of thing.
yeah, like her daughter is like a young chick in this.
Oh.
Whereas like in part one she was only a young daughter, and then in part two she's an old lady.
Well, I'm
So
surprised
it's
that
like a
they're even are they putting like, that's what I'm wondering, is it sort of like some story that they're filling in with this game then as well? In this bit, are they giving you story as well?
yeah, a little bit like it's yeah, like it's canon, I suppose. Like so
Wow.
yeah,
Well, then it
if
seems.
it's the same characters, like that's the same universe.
Then I'm thinking of some people to even tell about this game as well. You know what I mean? People who like really love the series of Alien and stuff, and I'm already thinking like, oh man,
And just skip the
I need to tell my
game.
mate about this because it's got story in it as well.
Yeah, it's not like that Colonel Marines fucking Space Marines aliens bullshit.
Yeah, I
Like
was
this
just
is like you're
like
like
playing in an
playing
alien
fucking
world. You know
Ripley's
what I mean?
daughter, like
With actual story
mission and
characters.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it is her daughter. It's been ages since I've played it.
I'll have to look at that. To say that when I saw Alien last, it's probably decades ago.
I'd say there's dudes around here that have watched it pretty rare. It's not a bad one.
Oh no, no, no! I just haven't watched anything. I haven't watched any films for ages anyway. But fucking hell, decades ago.
Yeah, I really don't watch movies like I used to.
Yeah, that's it. Vic was saying. I think Vic and Carl was saying yesterday they'd rather watch a film than stuff like this, and it's like, all right, well, horses for courses, but not. I just haven't. I
Like
just don't
I don't
fancy
know.
it really that
Yeah,
often.
I don't know whether I've lost my fucking um. Like I get bored watching them these days. Half the flicks.
It's because you're
Like-
for me, it's like having your fucking third eye open and looking at like, what's this subtext? What's this? Who made this? And what year was this released? And you know what I mean, just trying to fit.
Yeah, like I get about half an hour, like an episode of a TV show in, and then I'm like wanting to flick it.
Oh right, I don't know about that.
It's like I can't just sit and watch a full movie. Like
I think that's
it's
the
got to be
potential.
a real good one these days. Like
Spending time on YouTube gives us a short attention span, probably.
yeah, but I prefer watching long shit on YouTube.
It's true, because you can get on with doing stuff yourself, and I suppose in the sort of more fictional, the more standard fictional stuff.
Yeah, that could be
Getting on
it.
with your jobs and listening to it, can you?
So usually when I watch a movie, I can't just pick the TV up and take it around the fucking house.
You can on Vix. Cinema, then, and that's the thing is, like, the few times I have watched a film recently, I've watched it at Vix because it's more of a social thing. It adds a different dimension to it, so it's not just watching a film; you're watching it with someone else and doing all that.
See, that's why I see that Ben Spastic chilling in there, but you guys probably don't want him hanging around if he's going to play games with you and shit.
I don't mind it. Well, why would I be here if I didn't give a shit about people playing games? I've got no problem with people.
I'm just thinking, like, you don't need many more. Like,
mate, it's nothing, innit? It's nothing. Famous last words, touching wood right now. But at the same time, it's just like I said, I've been here before. What's the worst that could happen? We're here.
Yeah, it'll be sweet, mate. She'll be right, mate.
It's fine. Yeah, it's all fine. No, but it is, innit? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's the dojo, and what's the worst that can happen? You send some fucking dickhead in somewhere, you tit picture. Wah, wah, wah. It's like, what? The worst that can happen.
Yeah,
Touch wood.
I don't know why, like, he's wanting to go at Albo. It's like, I don't know, like, he could have just been cool the other day. And...
What do you mean? Who?
Well, like, to be fair, like Ben Spastic's like our Albo.
Oh, right, yeah. So this is friendly. Can you hear that cat?
Yeah, that's hungry as fuck, that thing.
That's the cat that's the cat from the bushes that I've not seen.
It's probably only eaten a couple of hours ago, but it'll be fucking... They always do that shit, eh?
Well, I don't know. This one lives in the bushes, I think. So he disappeared one night when the other, I think it was just like they got to a certain age where they were just, the glands kicked in, and then the male cat in this...
He's just like, oh, fuck it, I'm going.
They disappeared, you know what I mean? They weren't hanging around to get the shit off this other male, the main male. And then the main male's gone and he's come back. And so I've not seen him for a couple of days, but he's come to get some food. Bless him. He comes to my door for some food, which is nice.
There you go.
But what we were talking about, Ben Spastic, yeah. If he's listening, Ben, come and join the public Discord. I'd love him to come in the cinema and watch a film with us, and we'd all watch a film together, because it's about the company, innit? Not necessarily the film, although the films that Vic picks.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because like he'll chill with you for fucking 4 hours if you want. You know what I mean? Like, he's like our little resident Albo. Like, if you've got 5 hours, like, he'll chill with you.
It depends on his timing, though, doesn't it? Because he's on Australian time as well, and Vic's on Canadian time, so I don't know if it lines up.
I don't think he fucking gives a fuck about times, though, but it's just that he's going to be cool, that's all.
I'm going to take my kids covered. I need to...
Here comes Hurricane. So what do you reckon, Benny? Benno? Plug your mic in, mate. Cool, there's probably been guests. I've had my fucking...
Right, I'm going in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
My kid just came to tell him more times on his game than he's ever won before, so he's very happy about it.
What is it, Saturday or Sunday there? Sunday.
It's Sunday morning, and in about half an hour, he was having his time on his computer. That's why he's been so... He's just been happy playing his game. I kept popping my head in to see, and he's just happy playing it. He's having his time, and then we're off in half an hour to go to this trampolining park. So
Yeah, they seem like fun.
yeah, I'm just gonna just be there with my first aid kit on standby just in case. But yeah, I'm having a little jump around, I reckon.
Yeah, I remember doing like an aerobics course on the trampolines.
Mm.
I was like, oh man, like
Knackering,
holy,
isn't it?
yeah, I was fucked.
Yeah.
I was like we couldn't finish it. Like I had to
It's
tap out.
knackering.
But then late, like I was sore for days after that, and I hadn't been
Mm.
sore by doing like anything like that ever. And it was like it just caught me off guard. I was like, fucking
That is
hell.
a good call though. Doing a few warm up exercises before. It doesn't. We're not going to the actual place till 1. We're going to go somewhere else first. So in that hour, we'll do some warm up exercises. That probably would make all the difference as well, wouldn't it, for something like that? Because you go
Yeah,
straight into it, jumping. I bet that's what fucked
yeah,
you up. And then you were just
yeah.
putting full throttle on your unwarmed up body. Just such a small, simple thing, probably just.
This was also like a full like an hour like aerobics course on trampolines.
Mm.
So it's like, yeah, like you think you're all good, but like after about 5 minutes, like it was like, oh
Yeah.
no, shit, we
That'd
got
be my
50.
limit. About 5 minutes. I'll be going for a cup of tea.
It's like, yeah,
And a
but
fag outside.
we
Like, I'll be
signed
like,
up
in a
for an
bit.
hour. Like
Yeah.
everyone else is gonna go for an hour. We're like, and I was like 5 minutes, like fuck this. Like, but we went
No.
for a bit long. Like,
Yeah,
didn't
I'll
we
keep
did
going
go
back
for a
in.
while, but I did end up like a couple of us tapped out. It was just like, nah, this is hectic. Like,
Solid jumping about is knackering. But yeah, I think I'll be all right. The kids will be able to do it like 3 times over, won't they? Because they've got less weight to throw around. That's what my excuse is anyway.
it's like everything just like it was like everything was just harder. Like even push-ups and stuff, because like you'd have to do like it would say like 20 push-ups, but on a trampoline, where it's like
Oh,
pushing away from you.
I've never tried doing a push up on a trampoline. I don't think I'd like to. We'll try it today. That's a good one. I'll get the kids
And
doing it.
and then just like all your basic, like just all your general exercises, like you were doing on the tram, like sit-ups and stuff on the trampoline, and it's like that's what broke me was the doing sit-ups. It's like
Oh, was that what you did
just the,
on your middle bit? Was that where you got
yeah, like I was sore for days after that,
the old
and like
front muscle pulled stomach muscle on the front of your stomach? That one.
yeah, and your thighs, like your hammies, like doing like jumping
Oh,
jack. That's like
yeah.
you think a jumping jack on the ground is no big deal, but like not big jumping off the trampoline, jumping jacks like trying to pretend it's just the ground.
Never
And
tried
it's
that.
like you do your hammies like because as you push it in, it's like you know what I mean, like it goes down, like whereas where it's the ground, like and because you're not doing big, you know, exaggerated trampoline jumps, like you're trying to yeah, it's tough stuff. Like
Well, I
and
might
then
not do
doing
that.
little
That sounds actually
squeezes,
quite
like
difficult.
do the inside of your core, like in your legs, and
Yeah, it will. It would hammer it. Well, I'm just going to suggest the I think the push-ups on the trampoline is a nice idea.
sit ups.
I'm not going to push them to sit-ups. They're only fucking 7, 8. I'm not
But
going to
they
do
seem like such an easy thing on the ground, like 10 sit ups. It's like, I swear I
easy.
got to about 2 of them and then I just cramped up through the guts about 8 different places. It was just like, oh, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, it's not worth it for your leisure time, is it?
Yeah, yeah, it was only for a bit of fun too, you know, like, and that really wasn't.
Exactly. It's fun until it's not fun anymore, and then that's it.
The other people I went with, like, cashed it back in because we bought like
Ooh.
passes and
Sorry.
they ended up like cashing in the fucking aerobics passes. It's like,
Um,
no, we won't be coming back for the rest of those. Like, I think it was like a 5 pass just to try to get it all cheaper. But like, I think it might have been like $20 for one, or like a 5-pass was like 30 or like a little bit dearer. Or
Oh, right, yeah, so it was
or
worth
something.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
like to try to get you to go a couple of times.
Yeah,
they probably
they
know
always
it's
do it like that.
they probably know you're not going to ever do it more than
True.
once because it's fucked.
Yeah, because it's like such a rare thing to do it.
Chudders.
Rusty trombone.
We've got Chudders in the fucking
your
studio.
jig is up, Chudders. I know that you're Rusty Trombone. I know it.
Is he
know
banned?
it.
I can't add him.
So. Did I? I wouldn't have banned him. Did I? Did I? I don't ban people from yours. I just always time them out.
He's not blocked on StreamYards. I'm having a look, man.
I've got to go now anyway, so I'll swap over and let Chudders come on.
I can't get Chudders on.
Oh, it's banned on your StreamYards. I don't think I've banned Chudders, but then I can't be sure because my memory's shit. So if I have banned you, I don't. It's very outside of my.
If he types in,
it's outside of my normal way of being.
He should be able to type in the chat here. No one's banned on StreamYards.
I don't know.
So
I don't know. Well, I've got to come off anyway, so I'll have a look and see if I can unban if I know how to.
So if he's coming through YouTube and he's blocked, well, then he'll be blocked. But if he clicks that link and goes through his web browser, that should go to the studio, and you can chat here.
Yeah.
But he mustn't have a mic because I can't add him to the studio. It says
kick
from studio or
can chat in the privet though. Oh, is that you in the privet?
Yeah, he's in the privet.
Oh, wait,
so he's in the studio.
You're banned on the chat on the YouTube channel. Because he was saying this before, wasn't
now he's in the studio, but I can't add him.
Come on as Rusty Trombone then. Chudders. Why don't you just use your Rusty Trombone account?
It's like his mic is muted.
Oh, right. Anyway, I'm going. So I'll have a look on my side, Chudders. I'll do that for you and have a look on the thing for you. Thank you for having me, Red Bull. And I'll let you know how my press ups on the trampolines when I speak to you again.
Have fun.
All right. See you later.
Peace. So, I don't know, Chudders. You're going to have to put a fucking microphone in, can't? As far as I'm aware, there's no one blocked in StreamYard. But you know what? We might take this show to the fucking computer and we might actually go jump in YouTube Studio and unblock a few cunts, eh? I'll finish these couple of bongs and we'll go up to the YouTube Studio on the computer. We'll sort out what's going on. But I've probably just blocked some alts, man. I don't know. You're coming up as Chudley, but you're not coming up as with a microphone. So it is what it is. Other people can seem to type in the chat when they want to. So I don't know, bro. Yeah, it's just Chudders playing games. I think they're trying to join without a microphone. they're acting very Nuben-esque. I meant to go buy some food for my fucking lizard today, but I fully forgot all about him. And he was like, I was thinking, I haven't seen him, like, he's been asleep for a couple of weeks. Or when he's been doing stuff, it's not when I'm around. Like, I can see where he's trashed his tank. So it means he's just doing his own thing. But I fully saw him the Savo. Like, he was out fucking trashing his tank. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I fully forgot to get your fucking worms. Yeah, I was waiting until I saw him again. I thought it'd be about now. And because it was a bit warmer. I was gonna get him some crickets and just throw them in, a packet of crickets and a packet of mealworms, super worms. It's been like the last few months I've kind of just fed him like a few, oh not a few, but like maybe half the packet when he comes out. But then every now and then, like I'll chuck in like heaps of them into his tank, and it's like he'll find them. And same as with the crickets, like if you throw in a packet of crickets, like it's like he's got food for fucking months because they kind of like breed little crickets. And I think the worms might do as well. Like they breed something, and then I think he even eats those. So it's like a couple of life cycles happen, and you don't seem to have to feed him for fucking like it'll be months where it's like he just digs around in his fucking tank and he finds something, whether it's like a baby fucking. I don't think he likes eating like the tiny little larvae of the crickets, but I'd say if he was super, super ever hungry, like he would ever, he'd eat them. But he's never at that stage. But then when you like, you see them online and like people, because they will eat heaps if they get used to it and they'll get fat. And, but really, like, they're meant to be a bit skinny and kind of stealth. And yeah, like, you talk to the dudes at the shop and it's like, they're like, yeah, really, if they were in the wild, like, they may find like one of those worms or like a little bunch of those worms where it's like two or three of them under a rock, like, once every couple of months. And in the meantime, like, they've just had to like walk and fucking mission and look. And so you got to wait till you see them. Like, that's the best time is when you see them walking around their tank because they're on the hunt, like, they're going looking for something. But yeah, otherwise they'll just like get lazy and eat every day. But you want them to get into that cycle of like, yeah, once they go for a look, because then they'll disappear. Like, yeah, and that's kind of more healthy for them, like, rather than like, they're not an everyday fucking same thing every day, perfect conditions. Like, they live in deserts and then that desert turns into a flood, every now and then. But for the most part, it's a fucking desert. And like, yeah, like they're one of the fucking. Well, that's what I was just gonna say. Like their life expectancy, like they're one of the more hardier lizards in the wild too. Nah, yeah, they'll last like 20 years. Yeah, no, they're pretty hardy. Like I think if you own them in tanks, like they'll last for like 25 years. But in the wild, like they last for fucking they're little battle tanks. Sort of why they're so easy to look after. You don't have to do much for them. As long as they've got their tank and they're safe. Even temperature wise, like, because if it's cold, like they just deal with it if it's cold and just like sleep. And then if it's hot, they'll fucking just sit there and love it. Like, as long as there's food and water, they're cool. And once they're a bit older, they'll just take whatever conditions. When they're little, you can kind of cook them if it's a bit too hot permanently. Like they like it a little bit cooler, if anything, rather than too hot. It's like they grow into the temperature, like maybe where when they're younger, like they would rather it just a little bit cool because they kind of really like they grow so fast that, and it doesn't happen while they're awake. They grow while they're asleep, and so like it's almost like they do all their growing like really fast. Like so, the first 12 months, like he's nearly full sized, and then after the first 12 months, like they kind of pack on a little bit of weight, but it's about the same size lizard from 12 months till 20 years. But in that first 12 months, like he's grown from fucking 3 or 4 inches to a full like big ass bluey. So it's like they'll have a big feed. Like, yeah, you'll see him, he'll have like a big feed, like he'll act like he's so hungry, have like a feed, and then it'll go sleep for like 2 or 3 days. And it's like it just sheds, like they're constantly shedding their skin too when they're real young. Like there's skin everywhere. And so yeah, it's like you hardly really see them. It's like they just dig into their little substrate and find a little cave, and like he'll sleep for 2 or 3 days, and then it'll come out and like just have like another big feed, and then it'll just disappear for another couple of days, and then come back and then have another feed, then go for it. And it like each time you see it, it's fucking bigger, like noticeably. And so even looking at him, like trying to look at it every day, you'd see it was getting bigger. Yeah, pretty cool. I like it. I like it. Well, I kept it. Better than a fish. But what I liked about them was when they've done studies on them, they've figured out basically that, and then there's not a lot of animals that are like it, where a like a brand new born blue tongue essentially has all the knowledge that its parents will ever know. Like it doesn't learn. It doesn't really need to like. Well, how do you explain it? Like it knows all the things that its parent. Like it doesn't get shown anything. Like it just disappears, and it's like they all know the same thing. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Like I don't know how they figured that out. Like, but there must be some animals that it's like they learn things over time, whereas like instantly, the blue tongue, like a baby blue tongue, like knows like what's danger and what's food and what's fucking just what's what. It's somehow got its like the whole knowledge of its fucking parent. And yeah, like it'll do like the exact same thing. Like they all just do the same shit. Yeah, instinct, like, but it's because they don't. Maybe it's because they don't do a lot that it's like nothing's learned. Like it's just they've. It's already in their fucking DNA. They just do what they do. Whereas like some baby things, like they don't know what danger is, and it's like it's not. They've just got to get older. Like baby turtles, like they don't know what fucking danger is, but they know they've just got to get to the ocean. Whereas like a baby bluey's not like it'll just like get born and then like instantly dodge danger and then just like into a cave and fucking have a feed and then go sleep and grow. So that's me talking about Bluey Lewis for the day. I should show him on camera. He's pretty chill. I'll do a video where I'm feeding him worms. Yeah, isn't it? Wonder where old Benoit is. Come up, mate. Wonder what the weather's like out at Ben's. That's right. It's our 8 brains. Looking at a reptile with a perfectly functioning reptile brain, just doing his thing. Goon with the wind. Where's old Los Benetos? Come on, Benno. La Benoit. So what do you reckon about what I was saying to Los Benetos the other night? Where what if he just completely becomes fucking Nuben? But in it like as in like becomes a normal person. But if he just comes clean as being Nuben and that the dude that makes the fucking Downward Dogs videos is just some fucking idiot. Like just full liquid Chris in. Be a good season. But I don't know if Los Benetos can perform as a Nuben. Liquid Chris. Like I'm just thinking like it might make Nuben just fade away. Like you know, like just completely steal his whole identity. We still can, probably. Now wouldn't that be a twist? No, but he can get stuck forever trying to not be an alt. Like if everyone just like agrees and just pretends that Ben Spastic's really Nuben, then Nuben's gonna have to sit there and like try to convince you that he's Nuben, like what he has to do permanently anyway. It's a loop. it, it'd still make for some lols. Like Newman can have his own merging, where it's all just merges into one. Oh, battery warning. That's not good. Charge up my shit. Yeah. Bam. Charge it straight to the phone port. Oh, wouldn't that be a twist? Everyone start making up stuff that you've just had a conversation with fucking Newbin, like what he does. It's like, it's almost like a reverse Ricky. As above, so below. The beginning is the end. Mobius strips. The end is the beginning's the end. As above, so below. So who's on this fucking banned list that needs to come off? Dan, Vega. Fuck you, Volp, you're staying on that cunt. I'll unban a couple of Newmans, but he'll have to just figure out which ones. I don't get how some people can type in the chat, but they say they're banned. And same as Nuben with the studio. Like, I don't know. He was the only one banned in StreamYards. So I don't know. Seriously couldn't have fucking blocked that many people. Like, there was nothing personal. Like, I was just trying to clear out the chat. Like, there was some alts hanging around. And that's what I meant. I don't think I'll fucking. I thought I was only banning a couple of people. I didn't realize I banned heaps. But some of it was to also, like, I don't know, I thought there was some shit going down. So it was like, well, you can't get dragged into it if you're fucking banned. And if you ban, then just jump on an alt. And then you can't get dragged into it if you're on an alt. Like, the only one that I really actively fucking hunted and banned was the ones I thought was Ricardo and no, not Ricardo, fucking Nuben. I never shadow realmed anyone. And what I thought was I'd be back at the computer long before now. I thought you could do well, you can do YouTube Studio on your phone, but you can't see your fucking band list. So I thought I'd just, even if I did snap some of these, like, that I could just bring them back fucking quick and easy. And see, when I banned, like, it wasn't like I was waiting till you were chatting in stream. Like, I just went and done it, like, typed them in. Originally, one of the only people I really had blocked for a while was Saggy. I thought that scoundrel might have been fucking slurking about the place. I was thinking, you know what we should do? It'd be fun for a bit. We just need the jingles or the sound effects. But or we could do like with a phone, but a call in number, call in line. Where it's not the panel, like it's we just have random dickheads calling in. I always get a chuckle when I hear other people doing it. So if I'm gonna copy someone's idea, I'm copying the fucking call in line. And just have like absolute fucking randoms calling in. Be sick. So I was a little bit disappointed today in and I hear you all asking, who are you disappointed in today with Red Bull? But gotta say, I even asked, I asked Carl, can I get a fucking? It's not that big of a deal today, and I don't think I got one, so a little bit disappointed. So I'm hoping in the future, like maybe I can get a fucking at least one. I need one. Can I get? That's just not that big of a deal, you know. But here I am making it a big deal that I didn't get it. That's not that much of a big deal. It's not that big of a deal. Why couldn't you give me one car? Maybe you didn't read the chat. That could be. It's all I can think of is he just didn't read the chat. Didn't see me asking for one. I was gonna go clean me bong. That thing's fucking feral. So we're cracking beers. Just I put a beer in the freezer too. Get me next one ice cold. Fuck yeah.